anyway, we still here. So nevertheless, we made it, okay? We made it. So I did promise, but life always wins. Life is lifing these days. So I've been caught up with the fam and all of that. Levi was good, brother. Okay. Ghost was good. It was good. So tap the screen, share the live. It's one of the classic. This live gonna be a classic, baby. You heard? So what's good, folks? What's good? So let's go. Let's go. We ain't gonna be lazy today. We gotta get out here with around 200,000 is the minimum. So with first hour, we need to reach out to 100,000 quick so we don't face any interruption. Aza, what's good? Hello to you, gorgeous. Or hello to you, brother. So I don't know. You know, this live is crazy, man. Imperium, what up, pimp? It's good, big homie. And I just want to make sure this live is, because you know these conversations, man, it's heavy shit. Okay, it's heavy work, it's heavy knowledge, it's heavy vibration. So I want this to be not only secure, but you know these lives it's like I'm taking chances with my account, to be honest with you, because it's dope knowledge, powerful knowledge. Good evening, Melanated Moon Magic. What's good, bro? What's good, gorgeous? What's good? Hey, you already know we're gonna keep pushing. We ain't gonna stop, baby. We can't stop. So we need know one way, no Diddy though. Can't stop, won't stop, just no Diddy though. You feel me? So what's good? What's good? So divine honors to all of you guys, and this season we are in the season of the dead. We are in the season of the ancestors. I mean, when I mean season, this is an American culture. And as we know right now in this continent, everybody are dealing with ancestors, okay? Either they are doing some stuff for veneration, listen, the whole continent, this is the season of the dead. So this is a month that is dedicated to revered and to call upon ancestors, or to also settle rift, because a lot of our ancestors transition with problems, transition with grunges, transition with unfinished businesses. So this is a perfect opportunity because of so many minds, so many thoughts, so many people is pouring out that energy for the dead. So therefore the dead are receiving a significant amount of frequency their way. So it's easier to tap in, but also it's also tricky. This is a time where a lot of demons are feeding off from these energies, because you know what we call demons are spiritual parasite. Just like we got physical parasite from illness, from food, what we call demons are spiritual parasite, pretty much mean etheric frequency. So things you couldn't see, because your body have a signature, okay? We call it biosphere. So you have two bodies. You have your physical body and you have your etherium body, which we call the biosphere. So those two work hand in hand. Both of them have vitality. But for some reason in our world, they only taught us about the physical world only. So we only care about this flesh. But we didn't know much about the biosphere, which what we somehow call it spiritual. But it's much more complicated and it's much more intricate. And matter of fact, this is much more important than this physical flesh here, because your true identity carry on beyond this physical world. So they don't teach us much about that part right here. So again, what we call demons is nothing else but what we call biosphere parasite. These are spiritual parasite, or these are consciousness parasites. And the fact that we don't know how to get rid of most of them, or we don't know how to deal with them, then we fall in the wrong position of life all the time. So before we jumpstart, like I said, we jumpstart the party at 9:25, 5 more minutes. So to gather the brothers and sisters in here, it's gonna be a classic. We're gonna talk about a variety of powerful informations, a variety of issues going on around the world, and what most likely causes it. And we are in a season that if we're not prepared for these seasons, or when I mean prepared, it's mostly here. Okay, if you don't know what's going on here, because what's inside of this, remember, your brain is a projector, your brain is a regulator, it's a consciousness that you project, and your thought, all of our thought that's given this reality is processed. So the cell processor is conducted within our projection, within our mind. So therefore, what you know is what you become. What you don't know is what you face. So basically, your enemy is what you call fear, is ignorance, or what you didn't know or what you didn't master. So this is why it's very vital to know what's going on. Or also, it doesn't mean is sometimes what you heard is truth, but the fact that you just have an idea of what it might be, then that helps you to be in the process of be in tune with the motherboard. The motherboard is what we call plan network. So it's all of it is a network of plan. What is the plan? Consciousness. All of us is projecting consciousness in the universe is formulating the reality that we have to walk through. But now this is why the reality is false, because we only follow their lie. And if we stay in a faulty reality, guess what? They're going to be able to control it. And that's what they've been doing for a long time. So this knowledge, we need to know what's going on. If we don't know what's going on, then these folks stay on top of us. They become the rulers of this realm, or they become the demigod that rules over us because we don't know what's happening. And, you know, I'm trying to do my duty, trying to do my best to share some experience. I don't say what I say is true to you, because again, I always tell people the truth is within your personal experience. I can tell you all sort of things until you lived it, or until you have some sort of similarity of an experience. That's when you truly gonna adapt to it. As I'm saying all of this to you right now, it's just me telling you a story. It's just a story to you right now, okay? And some of y'all already lived it, so therefore for most or some, you guys would understand where I'm coming from. And again, that's the purpose of life, because we come here to just going through a process. And within the process, we are accumulated experiences. And these experiences are becoming a way of life to some people, and also a learning curve for the next generation moving forward. Lady Nico, what up, gorgeous? How you doing? So before we start, we give a kudos and honors to all my beautiful brothers and sisters in the mainland, the sacred land of the Most High, the children and the vibrations. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters in the mainland. Honors to you. Love, unity, prosperity, guidance, and good health and guidance by the ancestors and beyond. So all my brothers and sisters in the dirty South and the deep South, shout out to Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, Memphis, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, Indiana, Minnesota, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, the whole DMV area, the Delaware, Maryland, DC, Baltimore, going all the way to the Midwest, from Chicago, from Detroit, Michigan, Illinois. Big up to all of you guys in the Midwest. And we going to the East Coast. Shout out to New York. Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to Connecticut, all the way to Boston. Big up to all of you guys, New England, all the whole nine. And then I'm giving love and honors to all my brothers and sisters in Miami, Florida. Was good. Shout out to Tampa. Man, the whole freaking nations. You know who you are. Denver, Utah, Dallas, San Antonio, Texas, LA, San Diego, Sacramento. We got Phoenix, Arizona. Man, I'm just trying to make sure I cover the whole land. So shout out to you. To the flame. What's good? Texas in the building. What up, what up, what up? Okay, so shout out to all of y'all. And may the spirit of your ancestors find his way to you to bring nothing but guidance. We got Missouri. Shout out to St. Louis, man. I almost forget about St. Louis out here, man. Seattle in the house was good. Seattle was good. Scootin from Texas in the building was good. Scootin was good. So we got Kwasembo, Philly, Kwasembo, Kwadea, Kwa. You know what it is. It's the Day of the Dead. We're celebrating the spirit, to celebrate the dead. It's the season for it. So shout out to Philly, shout out to Pennsylvania. Big up to all of y'all. Ohio, Cleveland was good. Columbus, Ohio, what was good, okay? We got Curacao. I'm assuming it's either Brazil or somewhere in the Caribbean. So honor to you. And shout out to everybody in the Caribbean. Haïti, ça qu'a fait qui j'en loué frère mieux. Quoi Sembo pour tout haïtien frère c'est mieux, ça qu'a fait. And East Haiti is Dominican Republic was good to all of y'all. Puerto Rico was good. Jamaica, Wagwan. And I'm giving divine honors and divine love and honors to my Jamaican brothers and sisters facing this devastation of hurricane. And we all know what it is. It's all about greed and attack. So I'm giving, open and helping, asking the ancestors to bring honors and protection for my brothers. So better days ahead. So big up to Jamaica, my Wagwan cousins and brothers out here in Jamaica, man. My Yardie, what's good, okay? Jacques Millien, hi, what's good, gorgeous? So big up to all of y'all from the Caribbeans to Europe to France to Belgium to London to the Isles to whole nine to Africa to Asia to Antarctica, man. Salute, and let's just get the party started. All right, folks, we're gonna talk about some stuff going on right now in the world, and some of these things that we just trying to understand at the same time. But as we all notice, as we facing some issues around the world, it's not by mere coincidence. You know, we heard that there's a silent genocide taking places in Sudan right now, and the videos are out. It's outright. I mean, this is beyond evil to me when you're looking at the atrocity of what people do for religion and why people rather unalive one another over a fictitious or over some doctrines of religion. But again, if you don't know what religion is, if you don't know the process of what religion is all about, then you'll be the next victims of religion. Ever since the empire fall, it's always been the engine that consumed the most life, the engine that consumed the most spirits. It's always known as religion. And religion these days is not what it is at all. It's a facade. It's a facade of showing you as a sheep clothing, but in reality, these are demons hiding behind the term religion. These are demons using humans as fuel. They are supercharging themselves over people's life, over people's frequencies. So again, ever since the empire fall, those demons is no longer being kept at bay. These demons is no longer kept under control. Those demons is running free, and they have no one to challenge them. They have nobody to control them. And now those demons are ruling the earth as their masters. And again, this is just a fact, but most people have no idea. And let me be clear once again, what you call demons, because you know we get used to this term a lot. When you hear demons, there's so much spook, there's so much uncertainty coming in. And all it is called devolve. Demon, you're going lower. It's mean lower frequencies. It's only mean you all operate as a parasite. A parasite means you don't have enough energy to contain your own biology, your own biosphere. So you latch on the next, or you latch on to the next entity, so you just eventually absorb them. So again, what you call demons or parasite, that's all it is. These are biosphere parasites. These are consciousness parasites. That's what they are. And they are beings that exist before, but they don't allow them to permeate to a certain body because they destroy their body. For people that wonder, how come these demons exist? Let me give you a quick rundown, but if you've been with me, you don't know, you get this knowledge before, you get to study with me for a long time. So again, for just in case it's the first time you encounter this live, or it's the first time you happen to catch me doing some of these lives like this, because it's been a while I did a live talk about demons. Oh my goodness, I got my gorgeous sister Honey Bronze in the building. Brittany, what up, baby? What's good? I mean, I already know it's just a special day. There's certain people, when they're here, I know the universe is just not only smiling, but it just brings the right people aboard. So it's just a special day. So what up, gorgeous? What's good, baby? How you doing? But anyway, let's get to it, man. Tata, what up, Lucero? What's good, brother? What's good? Now, let's get to the knowledge. Now, how those demons were forged. How we end up having demons here. Now, let me say this. For most people that just having no idea what really conspired, let me just give you this rundown about these knowledge. How it really happens in the ancient world. Now, these things is documented. It's documented in the glyphs. It's documented in these walls. So today, what you're looking at here is what they call these Anunnaki. This is what they term. They chose this term Anunnaki, as everybody done heard about Zechariah Sitchin. He was the one that talked about those, what they call it, the Sumerian tablets. Talk about the aliens that comes here. You know that they understand we living in a society where code words or words, they are codifying in our society. They making things that's so easy to understand, so so far beyond. They trying to make everything so hard to comprehend or so hard to understand, because this is what they do these days. Those demons are in control of this paradigm, and they are controlling a lot of people in power, and they are the one occupying the space of these folks. Understand that. People need to know, and it's been a fact. So what you see here is these so-called ancient civilization of our ancestors depicting these demons. What you see here is abomination. Abomination mean they are genetically modified, meaning half human, half animals. This is what they call Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, for people that understand, every time you hear about the word Sodom and Gomorrah, they try to make it seem it's about people having sex nonstop and adultery and all that. No, this is much more deeper than that. It's eventually a cesspool. This was just all about genetically combinations of genes. Vet, appreciate you, gorgeous. So now, this is why when they talk about Jesus, when every time they heard the word Jesus, I want people to know the word Jesus means je suis, okay? Je suis or je suis. That means the sure I, that means the real I. When I realize the real, because you know, I break down everything in Creole, because that's the oldest language of this continent, and this book were created within the story of voodoo. So the book they call Bible today, or the story of the Bible, is a voodoo tale. It's a voodoo tale. It's a story of voodoo. Absolutely everything about this book is a voodoo tale, and absolutely everything about those ancient Sumerian, as they talk about these Wall, these Anunnaki, these creatures, all of these things exist in voodoo, and we're going to talk about it since Halloween was yesterday, and we're going to have all this because people partaking to dress, cosplay, they dress as so-called things, and they trying to give energy to these past hybrids or give entities access to relive a moment within our world. So every time you saw people, you know, put on dress and they all trying to put costumes in Halloween, it's just nothing but reenactment of fusing energy to some of these past entities that once worked the earth, or that once still around, because they not all of them is extinct, a few of them still there, and they are really in cahoots with some of these elite people out here. Okay, so there's many names. We call them jinns. We call them. Somebody say cap. It's okay, brother. You'll learn. Stick around. You learn today. Some of them called jinn, some of them called ja'al, some of them, man, there's many names, and because, you know, different civilization, different generation, yes, job, different names and different terms as civilizations moving. Okay, so now as we seen, what you see here is a depiction of these hybrids, and these hybrids this is the forbidding term, as they call it. Some of the Bible, they told you that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. For people to know, when you said Bethlehem, you ever wonder what the hell this name is? Like I said, it's a codified, and absolutely, to me, I said it. I don't want you to do anything. I don't want you to take my word for it, because what I do is within the language that is the oldest in the continent. So I understand what it means. So when they said Bethlehem, it means Bethlehem. Bethlehem, that means the beast of the hour. So the hour of the beast. So he were born within the hour of the beast. Okay, so people need to know that. A lot of people don't know. So when you said Bethlehem, it means Bethlehem. Bethlehem mean the beast of the hour. So he was born within the beast of the hour. So we understand every time they said Jesus was born, it's only just say that, look, you in a timeline dealing with demons, you in a timeline facing demon. And that's what they told you Jesus was doing. He was facing demons. He was fighting what we call Satan. So again, when they said Satan, Satan is not a person. Like I said before, everything in these words are Creole. When they said Satan is A-S-A-T-A-N, it means Satan, mean this one is time. It mean this one it's time. Satan mean this one is time. They were talking about the process of reincarnation into what we call hybrids. Okay, that's why they depicted Satan with horns. So the process of Satan, these are the hybrids they were talking about in the time that they walk among us. So the so-called horned person, there it is right there. That's how they depict Satan. He got horns and he got feet as animal is none other than hybrids. These were the times of the hybrids that was among us. So people have no idea. These hybrids still there. They still there in this present age. They no longer are large groups of them. They still there. They not a whole lot, but a few of them still walk among us. And those a few parasitical elite still praise to them and still worship them. So make no mistakes, like I said. So what you call demons, those demons were not what you think it was in the ancient time. In our ancient world, in our advanced civilization, because we are from outside borders. We not originally from the Middle Earth. We originally from the rim. We are rim builders, okay? We are rim makers, the wing makers. We are from the rim. We not from the center, what we call earthly bound, okay? We come from the outside borders, and that's an advanced civilization outside the borders of the earth. And as we all know it, they will call them extra land. And today we call it extraterrestrial, mean extra land. When you say extraterrestrial, it means extra land. It doesn't mean some alien being. It just means that some extra land that is not being explored by us because of an issue problem. And I'm going to explain all of this. So therefore, this is one of my design about those extra land. I'm working on my part 3 documentary. I have an animation documentary. I'm in part 2. Part 2 is out. I have part 1, part 2. I'm currently working on part 3. So part 3 design is going to be designed to explore the outside borders, to show you what's out there, what type of civilization that's in there, who are these people, and what type of civilization that they lived in. So again, like I said, yes, almost like the movie Elysium, but it's a bit different. So these outside borders is highly advanced civilizations in there. Okay, they are insanely advanced. I would say our ancestors, they come from, I would say, type 3 civilization. And the lower civilization minimum is type 2. That means they have the ability to control every access of energy. Pretty much they know how to use those elements to better their civilization, where they don't have to destroy the civilization, or they don't have to destroy the ecosystem in order for them to survive. Pretty much mean what we call parasite culture. So any civilization that operates in a level or type 1 or type 2, you know, you get rid of the parasitical mindset. Now, what is a parasite? If you have to use oil as an energy source, that means you are a parasite culture. If you have to eat animals to survive because of food scarcity, you are a parasite. If you have to use money to drain people life force, to get people to bind them under your will, you are a parasite culture. So again, what we call Earth is none other than a parasite culture. So again, they have nothing to do with the level of civilization that we originally from. We not from here. We are not from this border. This border is a prison. This border is a purge. And this border is an insane asylum. And this border also, it's a lab. So they turned this place to a multifaceted dimension. It's being served from multi layers of using it. So again, our ancestors in those these borders, we will call them continent. They just from extra continent. That's all it is. These continents, the same mindset that you see that we have as humans, we don't pretty much develop these mindset randomly. These are not random mindset that we wake up with them. No, we inherit these mindsets from them. And that's the reason why they come here, because they were facing the same issues that we see we having it right now. That's the same issues that they themselves were facing. And what are these issues? Ego, war, conflict, power. That's what it was. But they at least understand how to get rid of it, because they were super powerful, mystic-wise. They were very spiritual people, so they understand how to get rid of these issues. And that's the reason why they come here. They come to the Middle Earth for that one reason, to purge a certain spirits, to purge a certain mindset, to purge a certain vibration. Today we call them spirits. These are the parasites. They come here to purge those demons because they understand those demons is the reason of the war they've been having, the conflict. It's called what we call disagreeable. We constantly fighting. It's always envy, jealousy, all. This is not natural. They understand how to get rid of it. That means they don't allow the same spirit to reincarnate into the next body. They did not allow those same spirit to keep recycle itself within their society, meaning they're going to keep having the same old crap, the same old war, same old jealousy, same old conflict. So they decide to come here on this dimension we call Earth, one of these continents, this little border we call Earth. They decide to come here to purge every single one of these demonic spirits that's causing bad reincarnation. They just come here to get rid of it. And this is what the Bible was talking about. And they call it, let God, that gods come here, and gods with an S said, let's created men in our image. Pretty much mean they were creating bodies. And who are these bodies? Many other creatures, okay? So what are body? Body or prison. Your body is a prison for spirits. So again, they were purging these spirits into bodies, and these bodies were the animals. The animal was the choices that they chose to create as vessels to trap those spirits in as prison, so they don't jump into a human body. They only create. That's why they call it what? They call it the Garden of Eden. Okay, and that garden, I'm telling you, there, I'm giving you reference from it. So the garden was designed for that, so they can create animal life forms. And these life forms, they trap those spirit in it. And that spirit, they call them today. What you call DNA is a sequence. What you call DNA is a sequence. Now, what is the sequence? It's a sequence of cymatic, pretty much meaning that process of this, it's the process of how they pull down the frequency into your body. So what we call DNA is the marker of that frequency band they use in order to pull down entities to this dimension. So what you call your DNA is none other than a cymatic frequency band that takes shape as you operate in a physical flesh. So when they get here, they produce this frequency here. That's what you call your sun. Your sun is a technology. Your sun is not what you think it is. They are the one who created the sun. The sun is built. It's nuclear fusion that built the sun. Okay? And the sun have a frequency band on it that project the sun. Every time you see the sun rise, the sun ray, what you call ultraviolet, these color you seeing, these are what you call auras. Each of these color is a spectrum of frequencies. Okay, that's why when you see the rainbow, they have multi-facets of colors. It just only simplified the environment frequencies. So when the sun is coming in the morning and it rises, it projects down all these souls back to the earth. And this is how our ancestors build the sun, to project down those spirits into these bodies. And these bodies was known as the animal body. We create the animal as the vessel to trap these negative spirits into them. Okay? And this is why you find the majority of animal are pretty much evil. The majority of animal are pretty much evil. The majority of animal are pretty much preying on each other because these were the spirit that they trapped on down. Okay? That's the reason why. And that's why they also told you, even in the Bible, they told you that when they removed the negative spirit, that I think it was Jesus, right? That Jesus removed the negative spirit and he threw it to what? A pig. So now, for people, once again, they told you, I'm just using these references because I know some of y'all are so sensitive. Like, oh, this dude out here talk about Jesus. No. I'm saying these references because you know about it. All of us was indoctrinated to this process. All of us was indoctrinated to this book. So I'm using reference of what you get used to so you understand what I'm telling you. Okay? This is just for y'all because y'all just too over emotional with shit. So I just want to make sure I clarify that before we move forward. So once again, they told you within this story, he removed the negative spirit and put it on a pig. So again, this is a reference to remind you that the animal was the vessel they create to trap those spirit in or within. What start to happen? Some of us, as we come here, it's a group of us that come here. Let me try to show you some of the design, because I'm working on part 3. Let me show you some of these groups that come here. When they said, let's create men in our image, it was a groups of them that eventually come here. A whole lot of them got here. Okay, so let me show you some of these groups. Okay, this is gonna be fascinating. That's one of these groups out here. Okay, these are the one that you would have called the cone head. You find they find these head. These are the Egyptians. Some of the Egyptian, you find their head is exactly like that. They super long. They call elongated head. Yes, that's one of these groups. They were around. Okay. Now, they come from, that's many of them. That's one of these groups. They were around. Okay, so we know we seen skull of these beings. We seen them. They everywhere. Okay, let me show you some other ones. Because they many places. Let's see. This is your Anunnaki. The people we call Anunnaki today, I told you this is just a term. They just call it Anunnaki, but it's just simply a term, okay? It's just simply a term, but these are some of these ancestors that walk the earth. As you saw it all over the Sumerians, they call them Sumerians, that these are the guys right there. People need to know that. This is how they look with the long locks, with the beard. That's them. They carry the huge lion. These are the guy that causes the biggest problem on the planet Earth. These are the ancestors that caused the major problem on the planet Earth. They were the one that started the splicing, what you call genetically modified creatures, the hybrids, because they were trying to create a super race so they can control it to go to war with other kingdom. Pretty much it's always been plotting, it's always been agendas. So some of our ancestors trying to create a super race so they can use that super race to go to war with other kingdom because they still have vendetta against one another. And they start to splice hybrids, okay? They start to splice hybrids. Let me show you, if in case you think I'm making this shit up, because it's in the wall, okay? Let me show it to you. All right, let me show you the real one, because everything I'm showing you right now, that's them right there. These are these guys. And as you see, this is just a hybrid they create. And this is from that hybrid, it gave birth to what you call the griffin. So from that blueprint, the griffin were born, and many other creatures were created because they are the one that would start this process, okay? So these are the guys that I just showed you. That's who they are. They were the first to start this process. So now, when you said Anunnaki, I always define everything in Creole because Creole is the oldest language and everything makes sense to my deciphering. Because again, I'm not arguing with you if you believe what you believe. I'm just saying I'm sharing my experience with y'all. So when you said Anunnaki, it mean with us what we will be. And it show you with them, they were corrupt. So when we said Anu mean with us. Naki mean what we will be. So this just tell you the name is just a way of saying that it's just like, yo, with us, what we gonna be, what we will be. So to me, it was just a term describing a group of people that have the ability to really shape this humanity, but they decide to make another move because they are very military, militant, and they have their own agenda. So they were the first to twist the genome, and they were the one that create these beings right there. So now once these beings start to walk the earth, then they start to create their own little system. Now, one of the first system they start to do is using some of these creatures for entertainment purpose, pretty much what you call gladiator. So the culture of gladiatorial culture, when you saw people watching those so-called creatures fighting, they were the first that start this process, okay? So now a bunch of these creatures were permeated all over the earth. They was everywhere. And from there, these creatures been thought, because they're about to use them as super soldiers, to fight other kingdoms. And guess what? Shit go out of hand, because these creatures rebel against God, okay? they rebel because they, remember, they have the same spirit of the disagreeable one that they come here to purge. So these are the same spirit that they trying to purge, but somehow they splice their genetic with it and give them a what we call an abomination body. But still, those were very cunning groups of creatures. So those creatures trying to get their freedom from the people that created them. And that was the war. And this is what they call Sodom and Gomorrah. It's pretty much a Creole word, means Sodom and Gomorrah. That means the curse of men will be the death of them. Let me say it again. When you say Sodom and Gomorrah, it's just a Creole word, means Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Mean the curse of men will be the death of them. So this is why they deactivate the sun, what you call the magnetic sun. We used to have 3 suns on this planet. This dimension or this border or this continent used to have 3 suns. And the sun is not what you think it is. The sun is not as big as you. They said, oh, no, it's a lie. The sun is locals. Every single suns are local. And they are generator. They were built to work as a generator system, and also were built as a spiritual tool to protect and also to project. It were designed, there's 3 types of sun. There was a magnetic sun, it was an etheric sun, it was an electric sun. Right now, we only have the electric that's still around. The magnetic is inside of the core of this continent. That means they deactivated it fall. It's inside of the earth. Okay, so inside of the earth, we have the core. That means the magnetic sun is still there inside of the earth. And then the ether sun is outside of the dome, pretty much outside of the quarantine or the firmament. We have the ether core sun. So the ether is there, but it's just outside of the firmament. Okay, that's why we couldn't get the full energy out of it. It still can be harnessed, but they have to be harnessed by antennas. The antennas is what we call towers, and that's why they get rid of these towers, because these towers still somehow connect with them or still use some of that little energy that is still producing from the outside of the firmament. So again, when these beings were too much to deal with, they get rid of the majority of them, and that was caused the Great Flood. So the Great Flood is the magnetic sun that collapsed. They call it a comet. It was not a comet, it was the magnetic sun. So again, they call it a comet. This was the magnetic sun that come down and cause a major tidal wave and wash out so many things, got unalive, and also its magnet, it produced a significant amount of what we call genetic rewrite on this place. So that means gravity got tripled. So that means the cosmic wave changed and it terraformed the planet. And this is how we shrunk. We no longer have our natural size. We used to be a minimum 24 foot tall. We were really huge in size. Our normal size were minimum 14 feet. And after the magnetic sun collapsed, we shrunk. And this is what increased gravity. And this is why we are aging, because the magnetic sun is the inside of the earth. That means is in the core, is in what we call the grounding process. This is how we age, because something is pulling us downward. Something is pulling us downward. And this is why your body, half of your body is smaller than the other, because when the magnetic sun fall, it tilts the planet to the axis. So the axis of the planet just shifts, because the area that the magnetic sun fall is still pull gravity into our biology. So your biology is being pulled down. This is why you're born with a lower eyes. One of your eyes is bigger, or one of your body part is bigger than the other. It's because of this catastrophe that happens in the ancient time that they refuse to bring or refuse to document. Julia, and peace to you, gorgeous. So again, that's how they get rid of a large groups of them. Okay, yes, it's in the water. Right? It's underneath of the core. Today they would say Bermuda Triangle. It's still the magnetic sun that's still there. Anything that went from certain region will be pulled down there. That's all. It's still around. Okay? So now, as they do this, a lot of these entities gone. So a lot of them gone, but a few of them survive. So our ancestors left, and they build this quarantine. This is how they end up building what we call the firmament. They end up using the huge firmament barriers to make sure that none of these abominations went back home. Went back home mean going to the other continent or other entities survive and they are bringing radioactive or they are bringing radiation, because, you know, the catastrophe, it was it was disease and a bunch of shit. So that's why they created the firmament. So none of these things it's only being contained. So none of these things is actually reach to the other side. What you see in here is a redesign of what's over there in Antarctica. Okay, so there's a power plant over there in Antarctica that they're not talking about. Just remember, this is just another continent over there, and they kept it quiet. So I just redesigned a power plant that's over there. So this is going to be in part 3. So I just, as I'm explaining to you, you just get to understand. So now, after they quarantined the place, then it's only fair that the project was failed. That some of our ancestors have a huge failure and the project failed. That means the mission is not working. So they have to find some way, somehow, to fix or to do something about it. And what they start to do, they start to dispatch some of a powerful, we talking about, today we call them mage, today we call them magi, today we call them voodoo priests, today we call them priests, today we call them pope, whatever name you chose to call them. But a group of our ancestors come back because they trying to seal off the majority of these abominations that died. Their spirit was still roaming the earth. Even though they no longer have a body, they exterminate the majority of them, but their spirit was still roaming the earth. That means they have a potential to hijack body. They have a potential to jump on reincarnation process. So this is when the majority of our magi, or the elite members, spiritual one, they come here with the process of purging and controlling them. Now, how they purge them, they come here with what we call technology. Technology is a cleanse for demons, okay? Today you hear about it. Yes, the emperors, that's right. The emperors walk the earth again. This is when the emperors start to come in up in here. They're not from here. They are from many different continents, but we were going to use this, as they call it, paid wall, okay? They from the paid wall, meaning strange land. They come from one of the strange lands. That's where they come from. And they come here solely to purge those demonic frequencies that's still active in the ether. They no longer have a body, but they still permeated in the atmosphere, the higher sphere. They still around. And these are the magi's. This is why what you call the millennial reign, they talk about in the so-called Tartarian. The Tartarian culture were designed after the Great Flood to come here and to purge those demonic forces. And as you see in here, this is how they used to dress in the Tartarian. They were highly advanced ancestors, but they were careful at the same time. They were using technology, but not using too much of it, because they understand technology can be harnessed by demons also, so they can hijack the process. So again, these are some of them that walk the earth. Today we call them the millennial reign, or we call it Tartaria. Now let me show you the original versions of them so you get to understand what I'm talking about here. We talk about these people here, okay? These people, as you saw him right there, this is not just a flex of just dressing good or dressing nice. What you see here, these are people that just designed and being born. Their job was solely to protect the realm. These were people that sent on a mission, and their mission is to seal off absolutely every frequencies of demons, pretty much what you call spiritual parasites, to seal them off so they do not occupy the space of their world. And this is what they call the millennial reign, and they trying to associate it as Jesus, okay? As everybody talk about it, when you heard about the millennial reign, this is Tartaria, but they want to solely make it about Jesus. Like I said again, the process of Jesus mean I am, je suis, I am that I am. This is the culture of the saints, okay? So if you want to talk about it, the so-called Jesus, it was not one, it was many of them. These were the saint children. Those children were designed to operate a job. And the job was what? The cleanse of this realm. And the control, take control over demonic entities that occupy this ancient realm, and they were everywhere. But today in society, they teach you about one, and they call him Jesus. They told you it was one God. They made this up because they don't want to tell you what exactly really go down in the ancient world. So again, as word pass around, we heard all of these biblical, because now they took the story and they put it in biblical, format of novel or storytelling. That's how I see it. Again, these are the seal, as we know it, as we heard it. This is the seal. They will call it Solomon. For people that need to know, every time you said Solomon, Solomon is not a person. It means Salomon, mean dirty spirits, okay? Or dirty demons, demonic spirits, technically. And these is how they seal them off. This is technology. This is a technology form. We call them seal, but this is technically somatic. These are sound resonance. What you're looking at here is sound frequencies that we create an image form of it, but this is sound frequencies. This is how we trap those spirits. This is how we control them, because what we call a spirit is pretty much a frequency, and the frequency have a shape. And that shape, when it take over your DNA, that's what you call you inhabit by an entity. Okay? So therefore, we using these things in order to trap them, in order to control them, in order to use them. I said the last word, in order to use them. Because we understand spirit can't die, because it's just in a plane of eternal reign. But we can do one thing. We can control it, or we can use it. And this is when we start using technology. We using technology of what? Electricity. Electricity is a prison for demons. Let me say it again. Electricity means health, low frequency. Electric is L. The word L is for them. Okay? L is for electric. Electric. You are electing tricks. So that's why all of your angels were none other than demons that we control. Okay? Mikael, Raphael, Azazel. They all have an L for electric or hell. L. Everything with the last word L is just a format, so we identify the nature of that frequency. So we were purging these entities, and we use them as energy sources. This is why we were building these towers. These towers pull down these entities, and we are using these entities as energies. So therefore, we were purging them as an energy format. Okay? Yes, as you heard about Solomon keys and Solomon seals, that's all it was. This is why your motherboard, your computer is built and designed looking just like this, because we using technology to trap them, because we know what we did. We know we start using animal, we start splicing. So now we don't want to believe. For example, it's called lessons learned. We understand we failed. The first mission, we were using animal to trap them. And guess what? Some of us using their DNA, we start splicing, and then the mission failed. So the second time, we don't take chances of creating animal body anymore. We just solely build technology to trap them. That was the second coming, and that was the measure we took in order to control them. The first time we failed, the second time we willing to trap them in technology, and that's what our ancestors did. And this is what Terraria was all about. It was just nothing but a civilization designed to purge and control entities, because we no longer want to use body, because we learned from past mistakes. We learned from these abomination that some of us created, and we just solely want to do this to control those demonic forces. Okay, now let's keep going. As you understand these beings, now let's just go and see those beings in true form. Okay, now let me show you those beings in true form. As you've seen this, these are depiction, as some of us might seen this little drawing, and you like, this is just someone's imagination, and they just made this shit up. Now let me be clear about this. I don't have I did these live before. It was since last year I was doing these live, so I didn't have the time early on to really get some of my old pictures, because listen, I have so much I'm doing. But I've done show you that this guy, this white guy, he created technology that be able to see, multi-dimensional beings, pretty much those demons. Okay, I told you they don't have a physical body, but they still exist in the fifth elemental realm, what you call the veil, or what you call the ghost world, or the supernatural world. They still there. They didn't have a body, but they still exist in a light realm. So the guy created technology that they'd be able to see them, and that's a tons of picture that he took, and somehow he disappeared, and they show you the faces. You see everything. So I done show you. So again, what you see here is just a depiction of what people call imagination, okay? It's not imagination, it's called channeling. You don't just drawing things from nothing. It's something communicate with you, but you call this inspiration, or you call this imagination. But again, it's an imagination. When you said imagination, it means nation. So you tap on the nations of the magic. You tap on the nation of the magi. The magi or mage, these are priests. So when you said imagination, you just tap into the priesthood that you did not know about. So and for your perspective, most people just gonna see this and like, well, this is just somebody drawing. But we all seen these abominations before in ancient wall and ancient artifacts. But you know, it is what it is. You might still feel like it's a joke. Now I just show you these demons. These are not nothing else. These are parasites. Okay, so we said demon, but these are spiritual or biosphere parasites. That's the true nature and the true names of these things. They are biosphere parasites. Okay, so now for some people, if you think this shit is bullshit, now let me show you some stuff. Now let me just show you some realism, some real stuff as you think is a joke. Now, I was dealing with a few of my brothers and sisters, and they were facing some problem, and people being so fucking evil, people attack them, everything they trying to do, it's always a problem, and even they don't know what to do anymore because they feel like something is theirs. Sometimes nightmares, sometimes persecution, everything they try, they feel like, there gotta be something along the way doing this. And I get the contact and I deal with them, and guess what? I remove the goddamn demonic entities that was causing all of this problem. I remove the parasite that was causing all this problem. People think this shit is a game. Believe a game if you want to. But I know what I know, and these things been around, is the fact that they don't teach us about the true purpose of our existence. They want you to only think about the physical, and this is why we are lagging and falling behind, or we don't know what the hell to do with our life. So again, that person, these entities, they have the ability to influence your environment. They might be the one causing your neighbor going at you. They might be the one causing your family members being so fucking evil to you, your husband, your wife, your brother, all the family tension, family problem that you don't understand why your family is behaving like your own worst enemy. You don't know why? Because it's probably one of these entities latch onto your family members and draining the biosphere, and for that is turning that person against you because they are harnessing the negative energy. That's how they feed off from. So therefore, if they keep your life a living hell, that's what they're gonna do, because the more you angry, the more you weak, the more you sad, the more they absorb that frequency from you, and until they inspire you to do the unthinkable. This is what those demons always do. If you see you start having thought, you start having suicidal thought, just believe it's just a demon that you definitely diagnosed with a parasite that just pretty much start to drain you to the point you feel like you no longer want to exist, because their goal is to absorb your life force. So again, let me show you some of these entities. As you're looking at this drawing here, keep thinking this shit is a joke. No, it's not. Them things is really real. Okay? So none of these things is made up bullshit. They are freaking real. Okay? This is one of the ritual. And guess what? We absorb it, and this is the entity coming out. You see that? You see the entity with an abomination. It have a horse form. You see the 2 foot like a minotaur, and you see the 2 hands, and you see the long ear like a Baphomet. Okay, the same fate that is right here. This is the abstraction. We abstract. We remove that motherfucker. So this is not. See, I keep telling people, keep thinking this shit is a fucking game. No, it's not. You don't know what world you are living in. There's so much more shit into this world. It's because you lost the old way. You lost your practice. You lost what you used to do. This is why we no longer holy anymore, because we lost our way. Okay, so this is one of the abstractions. We removed one of them. It was several. Okay, it was several, because it was just a gang of people. Listen, I told you, I do this for a living. This is another one. I mean, you saw this entity fully. Listen now, look at the entity. You saw the horn. You see the face. You see the chin. Now, people keep thinking these things is a fucking joke. No, it's not. These things are freaking real. You don't know, man, I'm telling you, keep thinking this world is as simple as it is. It's not. This world is a mystery that you are not involved with the duty, because it's a duty. It's a duty. But people think that shit is a fucking game. So guess what? We removed this shit. And my brothers and sisters don't have a goddamn thing to worry about. And another one, man, listen here. This one, see, I keep telling y'all think this shit is a fucking game. It's not a game, bro. It's not a game. I mean, y'all think it's a game, but it's not. Now, look at this. Remember, this is an abomination of the ancient world. Okay? This is what our ancestors created, right? Remember, this is what Hollywood is eventually still dealing with. This is your favorite celebrity still dealing with this entity till today. So now this entity is very motherfucking real, y'all. It's real. A matter of fact, I fought with this entity before in my dream. And this entity is highly homosexual. Let me say it one more time. This entity is highly homosexual. So this rise of homosexual is not what you think it is. It's not a coincidence. It's a demonic activity. These entities doing this shit to people. You just have no idea, my G. Again, and my brother, okay, one of my brother was going through some shit, okay? And listen here, he did not know what the fuck's going on. A lot of things he been trying to do, he was facing with people trying to ask him for some sexual advancement. He don't know why people keep trying to hit him. And see, we know what we're talking about here. A lot of our brothers right now in the workforces, they have to get sodomized to get certain opportunity. You know the industry, you got to get sodomized to get certain places. See, it's not natural, bro. Something is causing these people to do this because they serve this entity right there. You want to call it Baphomet. It's a Creole word. We call it Baphomet. Baphomet is a Creole word. It means fake lower God. Okay? Creole, let me break it down to you. Ba mean lower, fo mean fake, met mean God. So once again, when you said Baphomet, it's a Creole word describing what really happened. It means lower, fake God. Baphomet. See that? I keep telling you, this is why they don't want you to speak Creole, because you will decipher absolutely the whole fucking game plan. The whole game handbook is within that language. Okay, because this is who they serve. This is who they pray to. This is who they give accolade to. That motherfucker right here. But once again, after my brother were facing so much obstacle that he keep getting hit by the wall. Every time he trying to get shit, people trying to get sexual advance from him, trying to find ways to get under. I mean, listen, you name it. And guess what? When we abstract this motherfucker, when we remove it, guess who show up? That's what show up. The fucking Baphomet demons was what was causing all of this. And when we remove this motherfucker, there it is right here. I keep telling you, keep thinking this shit is a game. It's not a game. That is right there. You see the full form, everything. That's the abstraction right here. That's what's causing his environment to be fucking toxic. That was the reason that was people was always trying to get sexual advance before he get anything. People was just trying to see him as that demon was in his environment. That demon was causing and influence his environment for people to do these things because that motherfucker was a parasite that he diagnosed with. People think them thing is a motherfucking game. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay? So a lot of y'all be having certain thought pattern. You have certain urge. You feel like, yo, where the fuck this urge come from? Where the fuck these thoughts come from? Yeah, that mean you diagnosed with one of these suckers. And now they done pretty much influence your biosphere. So you pretty much get hijacked. You got hacked. And for that reason now, your thought is not your own the same. Your thought ain't the same. Now your thought is them broadcasting the shit to you. You just don't, man, listen here, boy. You have no idea. Okay? There's that motherfucker right there. Okay? Because he trying to get his way out. Okay? I mean, you saw the tooth, you saw the two legs, you saw the face, you saw the goat face, the goatee, the two horn, his lips going forward. Like, keep thinking this shit is a game. Nah, we pull this motherfucker. This is why they got to demonize voodoo. This is why voodoo got to be known as evil. Because we be able to fight back. We be able to trap and control those demonic ass suckers. That's why we get a bad name. That's why they destroy the reputations of it. Because we have the ability to fight back against the parasite they are serving. You just have no idea, man. You have no idea, man. And this is why they turn one of the most powerful element as the element of the devil. Why you think they told you fire is so-called, it has to do with Satan or Lucifer? It's all psychological because they know the power of the fire. The fire is cleanse. The fire is purity. The fire is healing. But they somehow let you know, or they make you afraid. Once you hear fire, you think it's evil. Once you hear fire, you think it's hell. They do this shit on purpose, bro. That's the reverse psychology. This is the reverse engineering society from all levels, from spiritual and physical. Now, once you hear fire, you associate fire with goddamn evil. You see how that is? They completely fucks you up, bro. When in reality, fire is what we call you. What's inside of you is the fire. It's the eternal flame that's inside of you we call life. Once you die, that fire gone. You cold. Okay? All of us have a fire inside of us right now. We call it life. Okay? That is the ethereal fabric that's inside of us. And it's a flame. Okay? Matter of fact, a lot scientists actually use a microscope, a big one, to see what's underneath of the sperm, and they saw a huge light in the sperm. Pretty much tell you the fire is coding within the sperm. Okay? So we are light code, which is what? Fire. And when that fire gone, you no longer have an existence to this body. Your body turned cold. Okay? And that's a fact. So this is the entity right there. And keep thinking it's a game. These parasitical scumbag really exist. Okay? And this is why our ancestors were like this. This was just not a flex. They were not dressing like this just because they could. These are advanced beings that comes to this dimension to do a job. That's why they all walk around with a scepter, and they all always got this little, what we call jar. They carry a little jar with them. It was not for flexing or fashion. What they carry with them is entities. There's certain entities, they got to keep these entities with them at all times for protection. This is what we call in voodoo. We call it point, or we call it God. Pretty much an entity that we forge to protect our biosphere. That means we walk with it at all costs just in case some shit pop off. We know we can get protection. Today we're going to call it jinn. That's the genie in the bottle. Okay? That's the genie in a bottle. That's what when you rub the genie, something come out. They show it to you in Aladdin. But this is real fact. So I insist these people were not a normal people. These were emperors. These people were powerful sorcerers. So they got to always protect themselves, because that's what Earth was of. Earth was just nothing but a fucking playground of demons. So they got to make sure they come prepared. Okay? And colors was something that, it was not just deliberately they chose certain colors out here. People keep thinking this shit was a game. No, it was not a game. It was all a process. Okay? And also, for people that always wonder, okay, that's why they wear the crown. They did not wear the crown. They do not use the earrings, specifically bangles. The dango earrings is not for what you think it is. For now, people would assume you're looking at this earring right now, and it's a dango one, and you think, oh man, this dude was fly. Oh, look at what he was wearing. No, it has nothing to do with cosmetic or fashion. This is science. He wear what he wear for scientific measure, but unfortunately we did not know anything about that. And the tissues, the fabric, this is linen. He used these fabric because he want to make sure this energy never left his body. He want to make sure this energy stayed within. That's why he used linen. This is linen fabric here. And that's why you saw he have that waist. His waist is tied. That means this is in voodoo. When you possessed by a spirit, or when there's a spirit with you, you got to always keep your midsection tied with a certain way and with a specific color. So again, it's called zouk. Zouk in a way mean you pretty much ground your body with a certain process of spirituality. So again, the what we call the crown. The crown is a device. This is what we call emitters. It's pretty much harness the frequency of the ether. So this dude was completely connected with the ether. So he's harnessing the ether. That's why you see, look at the crown. You're going to find look at the middle of the crown. You will find one of these specific rubies. I think this was where red mercury. This was red mercury in the middle. That means this can harness a significant amount of data. That means this is a power plant that infusing in this dude goddamn fucking crown, but you have no idea. And this is why he have this dago earring, because the hearing is grounding. So as much the hearing is spinning or moving as he's walking, the hearing is shaking, it's dissipating the energy. So therefore he can contain itself. So now he's not gonna get fried the hell out, or his brain not gonna be toast, because the dago hearing is constantly swinging and dissipating the energy. So he's completely balanced. I'm telling you, people don't know absolutely nothing about this fucking world we live in and what really happens in the past. And again, this is why they always melanated. They were not just melanated for one reason. They were melanated because they can absorb carbon. They can absorb radiation. And this is why you see pale people, you see white people next to them. It was not a problem. It was not a popularity contest of saying, oh, I should be king to know. Because these people were none other than what we call albinos. We understand albino mean the melanin is not fully operated the way it's supposed to. So it's somewhere a jam, because I told you, after the Great Flood, a lot of us suffer from damage. Our DNA got damaged along the way, because when the magnetic field collapsed, it changed what we call, it terraformed the earth. So some of us, before we left, because again, the catastrophe, we didn't run away. And some of us, when we come back, we were exposed to a level of radiation. So some people were born albino from that time. A lot of these children were born albino from that time. So it was not a factor of skin tone. Skin was never an issue. Everything was scientific. And this is why we chose, and only those with carbon can expose to a high level of radiation. This is why people was not compete or fighting over who wears the crown. The crown was not a title of grandeur. The crown was not a title of saying you better than others. No, the crown was a job. The crown was a duty. The crown was a responsibility. Not everyone can wear it. Those that wear it were born just to wear it, because you were born as a soldier. You were born as a saint. They call them saint. Those saint job is to protect the realm. He's a protector. Okay? This is why people was not fighting over who wear what. Because they know people were born to perform. He was just born to perform his duty. And his duty is to protect the realm. And that's why it was. It's not to eat. It's not to look good. Today, they sold us people that wear the crown today in society, because that's what Hollywood did. Hollywood teach us this. You watch movie, when you hear about a king is a fucking jackass. A king is somebody taking advantage of the poor. Oh, I'm going to tax the poor. Oh, I'm going to take the crop of the poor. Oh, I'm going to overwork the poor. This is how Hollywood tell you a king is. They take everything sacred, every truth, they pervert that shit. So now you assume whoever wear this shit was a fucking scumbag. You see how that works? Oh, whoever's a king, he can just walk into your house and take your wife. Whoever a king, he can just be immoral. They take everything that is sacred, they turn it to a immorality senses. So now we can never really know who we really was. We can never really know how everything happens. We see everything upside down. And this is why the world is so nasty, ugly, and fucking primitive. Okay? And this is why I've been channeling. I've been chose to do this duty and responsibility to help remind y'all. I'm not teaching you nothing here. Everything I'm saying is clicking, because you lived this world before. You've been there. You was there. I'm helping you remember who you was. This is not teaching. It's just remembering. I told you, everything I'm saying to you is not in books. Everything I'm saying to you is simply memories. It's there. It's dormant. You should know it. It's an awakening that's taking place. Okay? It's called revelation. We are in a great revealing. What I'm saying to you is revealing what was hiding. So this is the age of revelation. That's what the so-called Bible prophesies. But for people, they think revelation means Jesus is coming. No, revelation means the truth is going to ignite in you. The truth is coming right back to your DNA. There's no longer a junk. They call it junk DNA. It's no longer a junk. It's revealing itself. The DNA is the memory, is the data, is a hard drive. Okay? So the hard drive has what? File. They have folders. These file has been hitting on you. It's been hitting in you. And you are in a perfect time for it because the planet is switched. There's a change. There's a shift taking place. And so guess what? These file is open now. And you start to understand. Knowledge is flowing. People are talking. People are inspiring. Because that is the revelation they were talking about right now. Exactly. Okay. Activation and pure devotion. So again, these are the saints. And they are the one that were there in the great time they call millennial reign, the time they call millénaire, the time of the greatest civilization on the planet Earth. And these are the people, okay? They were the one that built these facilities because they come from advanced civilization. They come with equipment. They come with people with them. They come with a tribe. The giant tribe were with these people also. And these people were not small people in the first place. These were big ass people in the first place. And that's why they built these buildings in the size of themselves, okay? These people were 10 to 14 to 23, 24 foot tall people. They were huge. Okay, let me show you one of their little depictions of some of these things in the ancient world. Okay, let me show you some of them. You see this? This was their size. This is no cap. These were their size. This is a 24 feet tall right there. This is the size of those entrances of these buildings. People need to know that. This is not a cap. It was. These were the people that walked the earth. We are the shrunken version of the original versions that survived or from the other continent that walked this continent once before. Okay? So, these beings, not beings, these ancestors were the one, okay? Were the one that come and trying to seal off all the entities that were permeated on the planet Earth and trying to make sure they control and trying to make sure that they use them as a form of energy. Today we call it free energy, but the free energy was a prison system that they used to harness and to trap those demonic spirits, because we refuse to create body for them anymore. We refuse to use body because we learned from past mistakes. So for that reason, we strictly use technology to trap them. And that technology is called free energy. What they want to call Tesla towers, it's not Tesla towers. It's just pretty much ancient buildings that have been around. And our ancestors built them deliberately to trap those entities that still operate in the ozone layer. Now, let me show you a real one again. If you don't believe me, all I do, I just want to make sure I educate you on the matter. Now, let's talk about in today's time what just happened not too long ago. Because I just show you these entities that I control them and remove them because they are parasite. Now, I'm going to show you these beings, who they are. Okay? Now, what you're looking at here, this was in the Bronx. This was in the Bronx. It was a time, I remember, it was a huge ass boom in New York. People were assuming this sounds like it could have been a bomb, but it was a so-called lightning. This shit was just like, it sounds so freaking loud, bro. It was a boom, y'all. I think this was like probably, I said 5 months ago. It was a 5 months ago event. And it was a huge ass boom. And it was a lightning hit too. So as soon as the lightning hit, electricity, because you know lightning is electricity. And guess what? this entity did show up, okay? There was an entity right there next to the transformer. You know what is a transformer? Pretty much what we use as electricity system, as a generator. It's transformer. Next to the transformer is this entity right there. Pretty much a demon. Next to the transformer, this demon were stationed next to it. I mean, this is mind-blowing. This demon were stationed next to the transformer. As the lightning hit, this being was right there cloaking. There it is right here. There it is right here with the wings and all, okay? There it is right here. Now, people think them things is bull. No, they not. Them bitch exist. They are real. You just did not know about it. And the reason why we see it, the person did take the video, and now this is a still shot. A still shot from the video. The reason why we saw it is because the electrical current, the electricity from the lightning showed the dimension that they are. I told you this is why our ancestors built Tartaria. They have these towers because these towers trap these bastards. These bastards could not operate in our civilization. This would serve as a barrier so these beings cannot influence us or reincarnate it to our children. That's why they were building these buildings like that. They were having the structure with the tower on top, because every time electricity, we call them lightning, the lightning go on top of the tower, meaning it become what we call a frequency that permeates everywhere, and we stopping these beings from interface or intervene with our affair by trap them into this dimension as an energy source. And this is what we call wireless energy system, okay? And these wireless energy stations is what you call today. Let me show you what you call today wireless. There you go, right there, okay? The Eiffel Tower, Eiffel Tower, okay? There it is. The Eiffel Tower were energy, what we call wireless grid. And this is all power station that we built all over the world. This is in Japan, okay? This was in Japan. And we have them all over the world, and they are not new. These are ancient technology. They've been there for a long time, but you know, they've been destroyed because the people in charge today are pretty much demons, okay? And they were known as demon busters. That's what you see, Ghostbusters. What do you see the Ghostbusters movie is about? They're using the technology like electricity to trap those ghosts. Ghosts is eventually those demons. Again, these were the towers that were built to bust in these demons and to trap them within that and use it as wireless networks. So this was our energy that we were using. So we used them as energy source. Okay? We use them as energy source, and this is why the world was unified. The world was beautiful because we did not have counterfeit spirit reincarnated the same way it is today. Okay? So let me show you more of these beings so you get a good idea how it all happens in the ancient world. Okay? Man, listen, knowledge is a motherfucker, man. People think things are that simple. They are not. See this? This is a drawing in a depiction. They trying to say this is Solomon, but several of these drawings is all over Europe, and including here. But now, as you notice, these are these entities. You see the one you just saw? I just showed you in the electrical current. That's them right there. Okay? These are multi-dimensional beings. As they show you this little drawing here, this drawing is none other a depiction of the ether. Because you know, he have what? He owed the staff. He got the staff and he got the crown. That means he's seen the veil. He's seen what's beyond the veil. So what you saw here is just a depiction of the drawing, but these entity does not exist physically. They exist in the ether. These are multi-dimensional beings that he's dealing with from this drawing right there. Okay? So that's why they told you Solomon knew how to control them. That's why they told you Solomon knew how to deal with them. Yes. And this is what voodoo is all about. Voodoo is the practice of our ancestors to control these scumbags, to make sure they do not harm us, to make sure we use them as energy source, and to seal them off if it needs to be, or to use them as a form of protection also. But you know, it's a different world, it's a different conversation, because they create a fear out of everything instead of education. Instead of educating you, they chose fear instead of knowledge. And again, men is what? Men fear what they don't understand. So if you don't understand something, if you fear something, then you know what? You will get consumed by your ignorance, and your ignorance is going to open the door for more parasites we call spiritual parasite, aka demons. Okay? So let's get deeper to the knowledge. Now let me show you these beings in flesh and blood in our time. Now I done show you how it was in back then. Now let me show you these beings in flesh and blood into our time. There's one of them. This picture were taken. I think they take this picture somewhere in I think it was Portland. I think it's in Oregon. They took this picture in Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. There you have it right there. Keep thinking them shit is just a joke. No, they not. Them things really exist. There's some of them that still exist from the ancient world that survive, and they still walk among us. Again, I told you, these beings are highly intelligent. These beings are very powerful with knowledge, because they remember the old world. They remember what happened. So guess what? They have a lot of information. This is why they worship them. This is why a select elite members or family still worship them, because they are the one bringing knowledge to a lot of these people. See, you heard about the Moors, told you that, oh, the Moors are the one that bring civilization, all made up shit. A lot of these entities, our indigenous ancestors were the one that bring knowledge around the world. But what I'm trying to tell you, some of these entities, they even bring knowledge to some families. They even mix, they have an intercourse with some families walking the earth right now. So again, they still worship these beings, because these beings were, some of them survived the great flood of the past, and they still around to the very fucking day. Okay? And don't think it's about people drawing things and they like, oh, this is the Baphomet, to think that this is just a spook, or this shit is just a playful thing. No, this shit really exists in flesh and blood. Okay? And these beings also, they are very carnivorous. Okay, these are carnivore, and these beings, they do a lot of sacrifice for them, and specifically children. Okay, this is an old ass shit. Now let me show you old ass. This is not something new. This is the very ancient world that's still into our time. Okay, they were calling this entity Baal. Okay, they were calling this entity Baal. As we know, we were growing up, we hear story in the Bible that, you know, they're asking Abraham for his son, and he was willing to sacrifice his son. These were demon testing human, because after the great flood, those beings were permeated and they were interfering with people's biosphere. They were pretty much get into the people's psyche. And these are the voices that you still hear today. These are the same voice, the voice you're hearing in your fucking head right now. As you talking, as you listening to me, you might hear a voice say, man, don't listen to that nigga. You might hear a voice say, yo, this nigga talking dope ass shit. That voice that constantly contradicting you, or the voice that you hear though, the question is this: do you know who's talking to you? That should be your focus in your life. That's what I always tell people. In voodoo, we call it met. That means the master of your head. That voice you are hearing, you need to identify who the fuck talking to you. You need to identify who the hell it is, who the hell telling you things, and you and that thing, you know who he is, and you and that thing become one. Again, this is how powerful it is with voodoo, but somehow they told you it's evil. Somehow they told you it's bad. So they can allow those demonic parasites to constantly manipulate your ass, to constantly control your behavior, because they are working with them at the same time. Okay? So this is what they were trying to tell you in the Bible with Abraham. Abraham pretty much was dealing with a demon, trying to see if he can control his ass. Okay? All right? That, and today they told you it was God. If you want to believe this shit is God, believe it if you want to. Okay? Because again, I told people, when you hear these things, read it as a novel. But the goal of reading anything is to question what you are reading. Because you are not a machine. You are a sentient being. Your job is to make the reality of your life to make sense. If your reality of your life is not adding up, it's called insanity. That means you're a zombie. Again, that's why I tell people what the story said. Anyone believing this story, you definitely a zombie. You definitely not a sentient being. Because how could you believe that God, the Almighty God, gonna tell a lower life form to unalive his only precious son? He could not have a son. The only time he finally have a son, God sarcastically asked him to unalive his only first child. What type of God would have asked for that atrocious fucking act? Only a demon would have done that. But somehow they convince you this is not a demon. It's the all-merciful God. Ain't that a fucking bitch? This is why this world is upside down. Because none of us is making sense out of nothing. That's why they call it fate. What is fate? Shut the hell up. Don't question shit. Just fucking do it. That's why the world is like this. Okay? Because if you were God, if we use our simple knowledge, we were God, you don't do shit like this. Because again, if he's my son, I got to make sure that he's all right. Did you not have a son right now? All of us are parents, right? Why make your children suffer? If it's my son, why I find joy for my son to try to be suffer? First, you let him never have a kid. You told him to go have a kid with his so-called servant. What type of God they have? They already have classism. They already told you in the Bible there's already a caste system that he have to have a baby with Agar, which is his servant. So why God create a system where people take advantage out of others? Oh shit, yeah, it's in your Bible and you don't even question that. You let it fly just like that, right? So God could not allow his devoter or this follower to have son. He rather have him have a baby in a wedlock. Said, oh, go have that baby with your servant. Why do you have a fucking wife here? And that should make sense to you. And that shit makes sense to you. But no, it's an experiment that was taking place. This was a book designed as an experiment to see how far a demon can manipulate your ass. To see how far you're willing to do the unthinkable for things you couldn't see, for shit that you couldn't fucking probably grasp your reality over. But once again, what you see here is the ancient culture of them. As you know, these are the Ottomans, okay? These are the Ottomans. These are the ancient Turks. These are them. They were always doing this ritual, giving away, children for Balak or Moloch or Baal. When you said the word Baal, it's Creole, mean give it to him. I mean, listen, you cannot make this shit up. I told you, the truth is the Creole language. The Creole language is the true Hebrew, is the true Paleo. That's why they call it mean the language, okay? When they said Baal, Baal mean give it. That's what he's doing right now. He's giving the children to the demon, mean give it to them. Baal, Baal. That's what it is. But you never knew that. You never knew that. Because you have no idea about who you are and what they strip away from you. These were the people that the empire were fighting. These are the people that we were fighting in the ancient time. You just have no idea. Okay? So that is the same people that have that culture till today. And that culture never go nowhere because that culture is very ancient. And these ancient practice, it's been around. Okay? Let me show you there. Listen, look at this. Look at these women. Look at the women protecting their children. You see that? She's protecting her children, but look, they are taking some of the baby and throw it to the fucking fire pit for their demonic entities. And look at they play. Look at there's trumpet in the back, so it's a ceremony. There's trumpet in the back. Again, look at them. The Ottoman. Look at the beard, look at the hat. These are the Turks and the Ottomans of the ancient world. These are preparation for war. These are preparation because they serve demonic beings. These beings are the one guiding their way. Okay? It's called spiritual egregore. So they use these entities to guide their way. Let me show you how ancient this practice was. Okay? Because I told you these beings, These beings were very disagreeable and clever beings in the ancient world. That's why ancestors come here to purge these scumbags, to get rid of them so they don't come back and to their body where they originally from. So as they trap here, some of our corrupt ancestors, they know how to deal with these scumbags. Okay? They know exactly who they are, and they know they are very, very, very knowledgeable when it comes to the supernatural, or what you call to the occult level. Pretty much mean dimensional knowledge. These beings are insanely knowledgeable. They know shit, and they outright can perform miracles. You will call it miracle. It's not miracle. They have the ability, or they have a vast knowledge of biosphere environment. That means the biosphere is what you call the world outside of your vision, what your eye could not give you. So since they exist over there, they have a vast amount of knowledge about to do, they can do some shit. To you, you will call it tricks. You can't even call it curse, whatever you call it. But these beings are very knowledgeable, okay? And a lot of people that intellectual, you call it intellectual, these beings are the one bringing a lot of knowledge to people. Okay, a lot of people doing the bidding of these scumbags. Okay, so listen, man, there it is right here. See this? These, you can see, this is a summoning. As you're looking at this is a summoning by ancestors. For people that wonder, so if remember I told you crown are not what you think they are. Crown is not just to wear it and it make you look good and you call yourself a king. No, crown was a device. And this is why you see all of them have crowns. So now if you believe a crown mean a king, that means he's above everyone. There should only be one of them with the crown, right? So if you believe the crown was just an instrument to show power and dominance, it should only be one of them only with a crown. But somehow you see all of them got a crown. It means a device. So they were using this device to channeling. And they channeling this entity right there, okay? That is an entity. They channeling it, and that's why you see one of them hold the crystal, okay? So that means they're using device. That's a ritual taking place. And another one have a circular something. He holds something circular, okay? It's a cylinder thing he holds. I don't know the full nature of it, but make no mistakes. Look at the way they depicted these guys. These are melanated people. To be exact, black people. They were the one doing this at the same time. These were masters. So the same way they know how to control these entities, but also some of them outright work with them. And this is the beginning and the end. This is how we fall. Because some of our corrupt ancestors start to using these beings for favors once again. And today, you would have called these beings many names. Okay, there's many names for them. But guess what? They were conjuring these beings. That mean bring them to these realms. That mean the realm that they from, they bring them to the other realm, to this one. That mean they bring them to this dimension. And when they bring these beings to this dimension, they make sure these beings have an intercourse with the women. They start to have these beings having intercourse with women, and they start to create, again, those hybrids. These hybrids start to roam the earth again. And these hybrids were the one they used to destroy kingdom again. Once again, is what you call wild men. Let me show you these beings, who they are. This is how they depicted these beings. Today, they will tell you this is Moses. Okay, this is a depiction of Moses. No cap. This is a depiction of Moses. For people that don't understand the word Moses, okay, it's still Creole. It's Moses, that means the practice of dead body, the practice of lower life form. Okay? These were the hybrids they were using. Oh, I'm going to show it to you. This is how the same corruption show itself back, and that leads to the destructions of what you call Tateria, leading to wars. These were these beings that will start to permeate it. The hybrids walks one more time among us. Do you see? I'm not making this shit up. These were hybrids. These beings were the one having intercourse with normal humans, and they give birth to them. People need to know that truth. When you said Moses is more sick, that mean death it is. These were the death culture. So you conjuring a dead spirit or a demonic entity. More sick. You are deaf. And these beings were the one, as you see in Esoteria, because remember, some of our ancestors, they build these castles with the people that helped them destroy these castles. Let me show you one of them. This one a night vision somebody put in his backyard in Las Vegas. That's one right there in Las Vegas. Flesh and blood. Okay? A pure flesh and blood in Las Vegas. They took one. Keep thinking this. Yes, that's your pan. Okay? What up, Eric? These are your pan. That's what you call it. Pentagram. You are creating a gram. A gram. What is the gram? Your frequency. You call it pentagram. Pentagram to him. You bringing and you conjuring his frequency to be, or you are tapping on this biosphere, or you welcome him in your biosphere. That's what it is. These are abomination of ancient entities that our ancestors were trying to purge from the ancient world that still exists in today's time. You just have no idea. Okay? Well, we're going to get this knowledge right. I told you, tap the screen, either reach out 200,000. This is special tonight. This is knowledge and special occasion tonight. All right? We ain't playing with y'all. Okay? And guess what? These beings were cannibals. They were still giving children these beings, so they consumed children. Same shit. Because they were half hybrid, half humans, but they still carry the animalistic traits, and they were still giving children over. That's why all these paints is from these ancient buildings. So they were telling you exactly where we're taking places. And today, they make it, as you call it, Greek mythology, they call this Kronos. Okay, you heard about Kronos. Kronos was what? Eating his children. No, this is pretty much, okay, this is pretty much a way of hiding ancient history to tell you. It's just a tale, but no, this is a culture. It's still happening till to the very time. Okay? Oh, you just have no idea, don't you? Nah, somebody said Saturn. No, Saturn it's a Creole French word, mean the turning point. Okay? Saturn. It means this one is spinning. That's why you got the wings. The wings mean it's spinning in time. It have nothing to do with what they tell you it is today. It means this one is turning. Okay? Now, for people that think this shit is a game, for people that think this shit is a game, bro, listen here. I actually, I swear to my life, I swear to my family, and I always told you, I'm willing to put my life on the line when it come down to tell truth, when it come down to sharing experience with y'all. And I kid you not, if I chose to lie to y'all, next time I drove my car and I'm gone, I crash it with all my family because I chose to lie to y'all. So just to show you, I'm not playing. I'm telling the truth, and I'm willing to pay the ultimate price because I want to make sure you know I ain't fucking around with my word. I'm telling you the truth because I know people that's lying would never say what I say because they know the consequences. They not ready for this level of consequences. But since I'm telling you the truth, I'm willing to put everything on the line so you know I ain't fucking around on these so-called internet. Now, let me say this. You know what? I find too many people say that. You know what? I leave it alone. You know, maybe I'm going to find another way. But, you know, I'm stuck on my way. I always been like this ever since I was a kid. I always swear hard, but okay, I get it. Word is bond. We'll talk. I'll work on these codes. Word is bond. And that's what anyone I will chose to do business with, that's how I would ask them to do. I would ask them to swear in their fucking family. Pretty much, if you're willing to put your family on the line, I can trust you. That's just me finding a way to tell you, you can trust these words because I'm willing to lose anything on these words. So word is bond. It's just me though. So yes, ton écrasé, that's what we said in Creole. That means we are asking to be cursed on our word if we chose to fucking lie to y'all. So it's culture. I'm just saying it's culture to me, but I get it, it's just culture to me. But now let me say this. I remember this happens probably 3 weeks ago. If I'm not exact, I don't think it's a month. I think it's 3 weeks ago. And I remember I was just working on my animation and I just went to bed and I usually play music. I have a playlist of all the music in my childhood because it helped me travel better. You know, I play music as I remember as a kid, you know, from Julio Iglesias, from, you know, many French music. Man, I was a, you know, well-seasoned kid growing up with so many backgrounds of music, you know, from George Michael Jackson, you know what I mean, The System. Listen, I have a bunch of songs playing as I go to bed. But for some reason, I remember that. Like, I remember the shit clearly. It was none other than Michael Jackson's song that come up. And I'm hearing the song very distant. But somehow I was still in a dream. And in the dream I saw I was in a marble platform. It was just a marble. It's a room, a huge room. It's made in marble. And it had mosaic on the floor. But for some reason, as I'm walking, it's like the music is pulling me though. I'm hearing a voice. And it's Michael Jackson's voice. And it keeps saying the word, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. But again, I'm hearing it in the dream, but at the same time, I'm hearing the music playing on the other side. And that was his song. His song when he said, give it to me, give it to me. But now it was just the song, but at the same time, it's the dream. And for somehow, I don't have control over my body in the dream. And I'm keep getting pulled. And when I get closer to Michael Jackson, yo, I swear to y'all, man, when I get closer to him, he wear black. He was just black and white, and the shirt that he wear have a tendency of like shining a little purple. It's almost the shirt was black, but it shines purple at the same time. And when I get close to him, he were looking like this. He have horns underneath of his hair. It was two horn curling. Both sides of his head have horn curling, and I'm like, yo, Mike, what the fuck? And as soon as I see it, I know it was a demon. I know that was Pan. And I just look at him and I jump out of the dream. I'm like, yo, I can never see fucking Michael Jackson the same again, bro. I'm like, yo, so this is the spirit that Michael Jackson was using. This is the entity he was using all this time to be famous. Ain't that a bitch? Bro, I mean, listen now. I know some people, I'm not saying you to not love the king of pop. The man is still the greatest of all time. I'm just talking about my spiritual experience, bro. This is why he was trying to play Peter Pan, and this is why when you see people dropping, people caught seizures, people losing or fainting, it was not natural. These were the entity he got with him that were absorbing these fucking people life force. I caught it. Yo, nobody loved Michael Jackson more than I do, but after I see what the fuck happened, I really see exactly who he was. I'm just being honest with you, man. Okay, that's why he did this all the time. He put the hand on his junk and twisted with this. I'm just being honest. He been a worshiper of this being. So I'm not making this shit up. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. He would work. Yo, remember that. What Michael Jackson was then is not what Michael Jackson was as he changed himself. So when he's changed, when he become a different being, when he remove his protection, which is the melanin, because when I saw him in the dream, he was not the black Michael Jackson now. He was not the black Michael Jackson. He was the white Michael Jackson with the horn twisted underneath of his hair. So again, yes, the man in the mirror. Okay? I'm just saying. So when he changed, that's the entities that's taken over from then. These are the entities that pretty much preoccupy what the fuck that he was doing in this different timeline that he hopped on. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But anyway, for people that think, remember, this entity is a musical entity. Muse, it create music to lure you in. Anyone that know about this entity, that's what he do. He make music and people get caught up to his music. That's exactly what happened in my dream. I were being pulled away from the fucking music. If I did not have spirit with me, if I did not have God with me, I will probably most likely become a vessel from that fucking entity right there. That mean I would wake up in my dream and I will become anew. I would start have new tendency. I would start have new way of doing things because he catch me fucking slipping. Okay? But the fact that I got spirit with me, I got guardians, I know who fucks with me, who walks with me. So I automatically catch it. I automatically see him for what he really is. And I get myself out of that. But if it was a regular person, they would eventually get to him and you will probably kiss that person or hug that person and you wake up in a dream, he transferred that motherfucker into you. So now you become none other than a vessel of that entity that he furthermore become a fan to him. You have no idea how these things work, man. People have no idea. Thinking them things is as simple as it is not as simple as it look, my nigga. There's a world within world that's interface or intervene with yours, but somehow you couldn't see it, but they program you in today's society. If you can't see it, it does not exist, and you fall victims every fucking time, and that's how it's been happening. So again, this was one of the experiences that I shared, and it really go down like that. So this entity is definitely dominating this industry. And listen, man, listen, everything about this entity is sickness of the ancient world. We talk about total sickness of this ancient world. This is how they celebrate this being. You see that? This is for Santa. All right? You have no idea. You have no idea how they've been depicted, these entities, from the very ancient time till very now. Okay? So when you hear about children this and children that, we know what entity that was pretty much behind that shit. Okay? We know exactly what it is. But today they told you it's reptilian, right? You hear a bunch, yeah, Krampus, right? Ain't that something? Huh? You just have no idea, man. Yes, the Pied Piper. You got the word. Is that what R. Kelly called himself? Is that what R. Kelly called himself? The Pied Piper, right? And what R. Kelly was doing? Pedophile. Ain't that a bitch? Children. Ain't that something? R. Kelly called himself Pied Piper, and guess what? He was a pedo. Yeah. So this is why children, these beings are the one harnessing and going after children. These beings are the one influencing grown-ass men to put their hands on children. These scumbag, demonic entities. Remember, children are pure. They got the purest form of biosphere. The children are the most purest because they are not contaminated yet. What you call contamination is the force field around them. You call them aura. We call it biosphere. The children biosphere is pure. So for these scumbag entities, this is the delicacy and the best one they could possibly get their hands to. That's what it is. You have no idea, don't you? No, we're going to get this knowledge going. This is knowledge of a trillion, baby. We ain't going to stop. This is the knowledge of a trillion. We not going to stop. Okay? So, remember, anyone who saw this anime before, I don't know. Any one of y'all ever seen this anime called Berserk? Where a dude named Guts and the other one named Griffin. You guys have any seen it? Remember the last episode when Griffin having the party for his demon? When Griffin actually have the ceremony to bring all of his demons so he can reignite his power back? There it is right here. So again, whoever made this anime were channeling by the very ancient practice that happens before, but somehow we thinking people making shit by they just sit down and do it themselves. No, what you call inspiration is not inspiration, it's channeling. You are relive or trying to recreate an ancient event, and today you call this your work, but it was a memory or it's been given to you as inspirational format. And what you see here, this is what they still do to the very fucking day. They still do what you see in here. Okay? So you have no idea. This is why the world is so corrupt and so upside down. Because demons are the one leading this fucking place. They are not in prison. They are not sealed off. They are not controlled. They are not banished. All of these demons are free right now. And they got free body to live on. They got free body to operate. Okay, and who did it? The children of the night. Who's the children of the night? People that fight the children of the sun. I told you it was a culture, two different cultures. And who's the children of the night? Let me show you who they are, because they still here today. They still here today, and they still have the practice today. Let me show it to you. You see that? Look at the one the demon is walking with. Look at the one the demon is walking with. Who that look like to you? Oh, I know you see it. Who that one look like to you? Exactly, the Turks. These are your so-called, the Emirates. These are your so-called royal families of Dubai and beyond. There it is right there. Yeah, you have no idea, don't it? Look at this. Do you notice something here? What do you see here? What do you see here? Look at what you're looking at here. Now, this is a crazy drawing now. This is crazy, but this is really depictions. Look, what do you see is happening right there? Yes, doo-doo. They are shitting on the fucking thing so they can go drink it. Now, ask yourself, is that what's happening in Dubai? When the so-called, there you go, it's the Dubai shit. They still doing it in Dubai. People go out there, get paid so they can shit on. You're not ready for this knowledge, dog. You're not ready for this knowledge. There it is right there. So you think it's coincidence that I'm saying what I said? Oh no, this shit's right here. This shit's right. It's a ritual. That's why they did it. When they're shitting on you, that's what they're trying to show you here. It's a ritual for them. That's why they don't care. They don't mind paying these model 50,000, 80,000. Some of them even get millions of dollars. So as long all of them come and defecate on you, they don't give a fuck. It's a ritual. Yeah. Unbelievable, man. What a world we live in. What a world we live in. Now look at this demon. Taking women for their wife. You see this? You see one of those demons? Taking one of the women for his wife? Yes. Now ask yourself, how they really do this? They really do. They've been having these hybrids walking among us. Oh, you just didn't know. A lot of them, they are filing these horns. You cannot see these horns because it's covered with hair. A lot of them filing these horns. You can see it. It's covered with hair. They cut them off. That's the reason why you could not see them. But a bunch of these hybrids walking among you, a lot of them wear wigs. Why do you think a lot of them wear turbans? A lot of them wear turbans so they can cover what's underneath. You did not know that. A lot of them they completely cover them faces. All you see is two eyes. Oh, you really think it's because of that? No. Let me show you the knowledge. So you think the culture of people cover themselves with, again, look at the word, hijab. You say I have. It's Creole. Our ancestor tell you who they were. Today they call it I-have, right? I-have. It's Creole. Hijab, mean he is a demon. He is a devil. It's straight up Creole. But you think it means I-have, you just cover yourself with. No, it's Creole. It means this is a demon. You don't believe me? I'm telling you, bro, you have no idea what they took away from you with the fucking Creole. Everything, you have no idea. Let me show you why they cover themselves. Because you don't know the real truth. I have to show you the real truth. Do you think people was walking around in a freaking scar, like a bowl face, like the place is completely heat the hell up and somehow they cover? No, they not just covered because it's culture. No, they don't. Let me show you. Because it's still happening till today. Okay? They were born like this. So in the ancient time, they cannot walk among people. They will get seen. They could not see them, so they cover themselves. Only their eyes is out, so people don't see exactly who they was. That's why they come up with this culture to cover themselves, so people never catch exactly who was behind these things. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, let me show you. Let me show you even more. You have no idea what happens in the ancient world and what you think is culture today and what it was in the time back then. You really have no idea. This guy, this is some of them in Instagram right now. He take this picture. That's how they was before they start shaving. This is why they were covering themselves, because we know who they was. Let me show you some of them in the ancient time that were among some of the people that work with them. Okay? These were the hybrids. These were the hybrids. You really have no idea, man. There's them right there. Yo, you really have no idea, bro. Yo, you really have no idea, bro. Yeah. You have no idea of this world, my nigga. So you think they covered themselves only 2 eyes out, it was just a culture. No, today you call it a culture, but the ancient world, that's the reason why they did it. They trying to conceal their identity. They trying to conceal who they was because they were not natural. Yes, they still born like this till today. Okay? The reason why a lot of them don't have this is because they come to America. They come to upgrade the gene. They come to shed the animalistic version. That's why they always come in here. It was a blood war. They told you that. They need the original blood, which is the old blood, mean original, to shed the animalistic genetic they have. That's why they don't born, a lot of them don't be born like this no more, because they have a lot of original genetics. So it overrides the genome, it overrides the sequence. Okay? It overrides the sequence, it overrides the genome, so now they have more human genes. So they don't have the animalistic gene anymore. So they did not born like this as much anymore. They still, a lot of them still born with tail till the very day. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, you just have no idea. You really don't know the history of this planet, don't you? You really don't know the true history of this planet. Bro, listen, man. The world is not what you think it is. This is a more science fiction. You would call it science fiction, but it's not. It's just they conceal the world from you so you don't know what really go down. Okay? So, let's get to it. Okay? So our ancestors fought these abominations, and they still being born. See this? This, you see that? Abomination being born. A human pig. It is right here. A human pig. This shit still happen. You don't know, my nigga. Now let me say this for people that don't understand what marriage is. You see, when the Bible we're talking about do not have sex before marriage, it's because you don't know what they were saying. See, I told you all the time, these people, they don't want to tell you the truth. They're going to go around the truth. But the point is simple. Marriage was talking about, when you hear the term marriage, for you assume marriage is for you to go to church, is for you to be with someone. No, this is not what the marriage means. They are speaking on code. They are speaking within code. When they said marriage, they talk about find compatibility with your own. Marriage means find compatibility with your own. That's what they mean. Do not have sex with things that were not compatible to you. That's why they say, yo, wait till you get married to have sex, meaning wait till you find compatibility to have sex. Mean don't get involved with hybrids and animals. Don't do shit with this is what it was. Let me tell you a secret, because you don't understand. You see what you're looking at here? Is some of these what we call, let me say this for you. This is bestiology. This is bestiology that caused this. That means someone were having sex with animals and the animal pushed this motherfucker out. You heard me? So again, this is what the Bible was trying to let you know. Bestiology is a no-go. This is what the Bible trying to say as the far as of waiting for marriage, meaning do not have an intercourse with something that's not looking like you. And this is the result of bestiology. Yeah, abomination. And that's a load of them running up and down up in this motherfucker. Oh, you have no idea. I mean, pig have 98% of human DNA. Pig have 98% of human DNA. Did you understand me? That means pig is almost you. That's why people use pig's heart. Some people use pig's heart as transplant. I'm not making this shit up. Now, ask yourself, what is pig? Pig is a hybrid. It's not a natural reoccurrence. It's a genetic splice. You just have man, listen, this knowledge ain't gonna stop. For people that think these so-called creatures is something you watch on TV, it's something you watch on movie, thinking these things don't exist, they really exist, okay? They really, really exist. Okay? Keep thinking this shit is a game. Let me try to show you your mermaid, okay? Probably the first time you gonna see a mermaid. This is how mermaid look. Okay? This is how mermaid look. Look at the human physiology, the chest, everything. You have no idea, don't you? So you were assuming the mermaid, you were expected for it to look like a human, just like Little Mermaid and all the Hollywood movies with a whitey woman head. No! This is a humanoid fish. Simple. These were ancient splice. Yes, they make mermaid all beautiful and all. No! It's just a humanoid fish. Simple. Yeah. This is what they told you the so-called super elite are eating them. They are consuming these beings. When you heard about mermaid, they are eating mermaid, they are eating those. So these are humanoid fish. To them, it's just a humanoid fish. Oh, you have no idea, don't you? Unbelievable, man. So these things is not a byproduct of a oh my God, no, these things always been there. You're not getting exposed. I mean, they documented, they just not sharing it with you. It's there. All of them is there. They just not telling you, or they kept it a secret from us. But it's nothing new, or it's nothing to be, oh my goodness, oh wow. There's nothing wow about none of these things. It's called isolation. They isolate us from absolutely everything in this paradigm. We are little cattle that was just there and just to be there. There's no say of nothing, bro. They just keep us inside of a bubble where there's many things happening around us. This is a werewolf, as you want to call it, werewolf. It's just a humanoid dog. They unalive it because they were attacking people. This is what they call. This was in Colombia. They call this chupacabra, right? That's how we call it. That's names for it. They want to call it chupacabra. It's a humanoid goddamn dog. These things, yeah, right? Lugau. These things been around. And some of our ancestors know how to deal with them. They know how to call on these scumbags. Because I told you, our job is to control them. So some of us know how to deal with them. In voodoo, they call them lugau. There's two types of them. And how they deal with it, it's called transfer of consciousness. The person sleep. While the person sleep, before they sleep, there's a certain concoction you got to drink. There's a certain prayer to say, because you call it prayer. It's not prayer. It's incantation. That means you are producing frequency to interface with the other realm. After you done said certain things, that's a certain way to position yourself. That's a certain food you eat that day. And that's a certain way you go to bed. And from there, your spirit left your body and go to the other realm. And from that other realm, this is where those entities live. And your spirit now become the avatar to bring this entity from the other realm to this realm. And that when they come here, now they are using your life force to materialize their body into this dimension. And they are flying around. We call them, yes, lugau. They got wings. Nobody can tell me shit. You remember the entity I showed you? The one with the lightning. These are the lugau. I've lived this shit. I don't give a fuck what people tell me. I live that shit. That shit is real. And I show it to you. From the lightning, they were hiding. That means they exist on the other side. So they're probably in the fourth dimension. They're not here, but they're there. They don't have enough life force to materialize. And this is what people in voodoo do. Okay? There's some society in voodoo transfer their consciousness to the other side and bring them here, and they call them lugau. They fly at night. People seen them. I lived it. I see it. They got wings. They flew. And they be jumping in people's house because this is what they usually do. When they got here, they absorb life force. What are the life force? Children. It's always about children. With these beings, I told you, they are parasites. They got to absorb the life force of those children. Children are pure. So what they do, they jump. They go to many different people's house. If there's a children in town, they will know it. Because these beings have a great amount of sense for, like, you can call it a form of infrared in a way, but it's not. They can smell. So they are a good tracker of essence. So they will smell the nearby kids and they will fly to that place and they're going to go on top of the house. And when they jump, you will hear the wing. And then they fall into the house. Boom. When they fall, they usually position themselves on top of where the kids is located. So if the baby is sleeping to an area, that's exactly where they're going to position themselves, and they're going to stay right there. As they stay there, they might stay there for 10, 15 minutes, just stand still. And all they do is absorb the life force of the kid. And after that, they just take off. They flew out. And next day, you heard the kid just don't wake up. Next day, you heard the kid is sick. In a couple of days, the baby ended up dying because they absorbed the life force of the kid. Science, all of it is science, but people don't know that. Yeah. So this is no cap. This is no mistakes. It's a fact. I lived it. I know it. I see it. People can say whatever the fuck they want. It's the truth. Okay? And the so-called werewolf is the so-called chupacabra, what we call chupacabra, whatever name they call it. These are ancient abominations. And still there, still exist. You couldn't see it because they live underground. They hide underground, and a lot of them have the ability to clothe themselves. You won't be able to see it. Jupiter, what up, baby? So you won't be able to see it because most of them travel at nighttime. So they're very clever, and that's what they usually do. So at night they come out and they usually eat the cattle. They eat your dog, or they eat the chicken. They eat the cow. That's who's doing all of this shit. And they catch one. That's all it is. They catch one right there. I'm telling you, man, the whole world is something that they turn to a mystical legend. There's nothing myth about it. It's actually really true. It does really happen. There's nothing mythical about nothing. Let's see where we at. Okay, so I done show you that. What do we got? Oh, we got more abomination. Let me see if I got some more abomination to share. Oh man, you don't know what world we live in. We need to hit out of 200,000. Let's go. We're playing right now. Okay? Now, this is the monkey. This is the monkey they use to create the majority of the people. You will see the Ottomans and the Turks. So some of our ancestors, that's what they were using. This monkey right there. That's why till today they dress, they keep their beard to look just like this till today. And it's the truth. It's the truth. They still got the fur in their body till today the same way. That is the genetic. That's still within their gene. It's the truth. This is all part of the splicing system of the ancient time. You have no idea. You have no idea, bro. And again, what is monkey? Monkey have 99% DNA with human. 99%. This is what they were doing. Splicing. And I told you, this is why our ancestors don't come and take us home with them. No, we are contaminated. We are gemmed. We are nowhere near what we supposed to do. Our gene is completely contaminated because we mix with everything. You have genes from all type of people in you right now. That's why you got certain disease. Certain disease is genetic corrosion. Disease or genetic corrosion. Let me say it again. Your disease or genetic corrosion. Why you think most women, once they get pregnant, they start throwing up. They start their body just because that genetic is not compatible to you. That's why you throwing up. That's why you feel sick being pregnant. Because your gene is corroded with an intruder. That's the truth. This is why women every month still have their period. Your body have to flush from toxin that sit within the gene. Your menstrual period time, you every month have to leak, is not natural. It's your body trying to get rid of so many negative blood, so many corruption, so many contamination in your blood. Every month they have to release some of that toxin. In your original form, you don't have period. Period is abnormal. Women were never designed to release body fluid. It's after generation of mixing certain blood in us carry pathogens, and these pathogens have to be released because it's unnatural to the natural order. So that's why women been releasing it every month. Okay? you have no idea, don't you? Greetings, sunlight. What up, gorgeous? You have no idea how that society works and what's really been going on. And this is why our ancestors don't come here and snatch us and say, oh, let's go back home. No, they can't take us back home. We contaminated. We are contaminated. Yes, birth pain are unnatural. Okay? Because you don't have the compatibilities of blood. If you are O, stick with O. If you are A, B, stick within your blood type. It can help. It can help. But to be honest, anytime a pregnancy you can't eat, you spitting, you throwing up, and you feel this is an intruder in your body. Yeah. Okay, let's get to the knowledge. Let's see what time it is. We about to hit the 2-hour mark. 200,000 real quick now. We playing up in this building. We playing. Okay? Let me show you what we call genetic dormant. Okay? What you call, it's not a defect. It's just a genetic dormant. That means the gene will trigger as a periodic time occurred. Okay? Because so many creatures was among us. So many abominations, so many different ones. See this? This is not an anomaly. This kid, there's nothing wrong with him. But they're going to tell you, oh, this poor baby, look, he was born with a deformation. No, this is not a deformation at all. This is ancient genetics because of abomination, because of genetic splice that stay dormant when the gene, and he happened to have to be one of those dormant genes that pops up within the time that he happened to be born. This is nothing wrong with him. There's some of these genetic splice beings that were among us, what you call humanoid entities. You can say, yeah, he do have he do gave the snake kind of thing. Okay? Because people fail to understand. Yes, this is in Africa. People fail to understand African were engineered by a reptilian. It's a fact. It's a fact. Not all, I'm just saying. Not all, but they intervene with our gene. Now, for people that wonder, when you say Africa, I told you we all mixed. African was here too. They brought them here. They were here. So our gene is completely mixed with everything. So anybody gonna tell you, oh, I'm pure, you lying, my nigga. None of us is pure right now. And they always come in here for a reason, because we have the purest blood. We have, oh, we the original. That's why they come here. So that's why in Africa, you find all type of genetics in Africa. You find all type of culture of people pretty much scars themselves, what you call face mutilation. They are cutting their faces to try to emulate the reptilian skin. They still do it till today. They trying to slice their faces. All of these were entities they encounter in the ancient time that they deal with, that they try to emulate two tribes. Till today they do it. That's why people in Africa today, they have starfish legs. Starfish foot. Because Africa were what we call a renegade place. A place where they conduct experiment. It's still an experimental place. It's Skull Island. That's why in Africa you find the tallest people. You find the shortest people. You find people with animal foot. You name it. You find hominids. They still have all of genetic variation because it was an experimental ground place. People need to know. Let's see. Let me show you another one. See that? It's not a defect. But they're going to tell you it's a defect. It's not. It's not a defect. This is a gene that just happened to activate on this child, as this child have that gene in their genetics. So the genetic structure just find its cells and just find its way to take its course or take its shape as it see fit. They there. Now ask yourself, why you think Star Trek have a clan, a group of people look just like this? Coincidence? No. So you think Star Trek create these people, just somebody was just happened to just inspired and they do it? No, they do know. They're Cleon. They do know about it. Because those in Hollywood is well exposed. They are rich. They got money. They got exposed to shit. They've seen shit. They've been around. They get around other conversation. That's why they put it in entertainment. But they are telling the truth. But you see it as that entertainment. Ice Maker, appreciate you, brother. He said it's hard to look, right? It's called exposure because your eyes never been trained to see it like this. So it's hard for your eyes to translate what you see. Okay? I get you, baby. I get you. Now let's get to another one. A different one. Okay? Now, these are the people that were fighting these abominations. This is why they put on these armors. They put on these clothing. So you think somebody were wearing all of this to fight other humans? So you think you about to wear this to go fight regular humans? No. Okay? This is the celestial army. You will find Haitian people going to say Armée Céleste. They will call it Armée Céleste. The celestial army. They fight the multi-dimensional beings. This is what he's geared up to do. Those are entities that you could not see, that is influencing people, and they are existed outside the ether. So when you wear this, he's harnessing the energy of those ethers. It's become the lightsaber, what you call the Star Wars. That's what they were using. It's the ether war. Goal or conductor. You have no idea, don't you? Shout out to my brother Damian Michaels. Anyone want to get more knowledge about this, get to my brother Damian Michael. He'll fill you in. Okay? They were now using these armor for fun. You just didn't know. Okay? Look at this. Look at this. This is a depiction of how they control the ether and how those demonic forces were beyond. Now you see this? Look at the Tartarian buildings in the back. So you saw the cathedral, the Tartarian style, and these are the group of magi. You want to call them alchemists, you want to call them priests, you want to call them whatever, shaman, voodoo priests, whatever. That's a group of them guiding. They are guiding a spirit so the spirit can leave and to go where they're supposed to be. This is a ritual taking place right there. You see that? That's the spirit penetrate the waters above. This is the spirit penetrate the waters above. What you call the firmament. On top of a firmament is water. Oh, you have no idea, don't you? That is the spirit leaving. This is the only way you can leave this dimension. You cannot leave this plane physically. Only way you can live this, you can leave this place is when you turn to this, a light. You turn to a light. It's called light code. You become what they call Mer Abba. You said Merkaba. You become a light code. You know how you call this? You call this ray. You leaving the dome as a pure light. These are the lights you sometimes see in the sky, and you call them UFO. They are not UFO. A lot of them is not even ships. These are souls. That means somebody become a soul. These are orbs. So every time you heard somebody tell you, oh, he sold his soul, they are lying. No one with a soul exists on this plane. We have spirits. The moment we achieve a soul, we no longer need a body. A soul means solar. Soul. You become like the light. You become a light being. You don't need a body. So the moment you become a soul, this is when you leave in this plane. That is what? Graduation. Okay? That is graduation. So right here, they are witness one of theirs, one of their colleague, or one of them leaving. That is what we call ascension. We are leaving the waters. Okay? So when they told you sell your soul, you never had one in the fucking first place. We have spirit. What is spirit? Consciousness. We only aware. We are occupy a vessel. Spirit are animation. So we are animator. We animate a vessel. It's called spirit. The animation of a vessel. A soul is the graduation of a spirit. A soul is the graduation of a spirit. How you graduated, how you become a soul, it's simple. It's called awareness. It's called vibration. It's called connection. Once you have those three, once you aware of your environment, that means you know how things work. You know how to deal with people. You know how to behave with one another. You know what tick the person off. You know how the environment works. You know how nature works. That is the first step, is awareness. Second is vibration. Vibration means you know how to deal with it. You know how to connect with it. You know how to evolve with things, not to destroy, not to hate, at least understand. See, nothing is better, nothing is more, nothing is less. It's just different. The moment we agree, we just different. Not bad, different. Not worse, different. Not love, different. Mean we all here to explore, we all here to evolve. I might not like you, you might not like me, but that doesn't mean I hate you. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do the worst or hope the worst. I just see it just different. If it's different, it just means you are on your own timeline. You are in your own journey. So rise upon your own time. Rise upon your own. As long as you're not disturbing me, you're not disturbing innocent, you're not disturbing others in the same journey as you. Okay? Then, guess what? You evolve. You will become a soul. That means you are a full consciousness. When you become a light, it means you are connecting with everything, and everything around you vibrate with you as one, so you no longer need a lower body. The lower body is the flesh. The lower body is the prison. Once you become the light, you don't need a flesh to exist. So guess what? You are leaving this prison planet that they create as the dome, and you will penetrate the waters, and you leave and go back home. I told you, this is the only way we can go back home. Because I told you, we are contaminated. We are deranged. We are programmed to behave as machine. We will not be able to survive our original home. We will be sick to our core. Matter of fact, our presence itself will not be, we cannot even exist in our home planet. If we go back home right now, the moment we set foot to this planet, you will get a heart attack. Let me say it again. The moment you will set foot to our original home planet, which is what we call a level 3, a type 3 civilization. A type 3 civilization means they are highly evolved with everything around them. That means there's a level of energy that's so much pure and so much more. Your body is only 24 megahertz per second. That means your heart rate is so low, If you went there, you will catch a heart attack. That means you cannot have that amount of energy because your body is not built for that. Your body is too low. Your frequency is too low. Your perception is too low. That's why they're not coming to take us there. We simply can't exist there. That's it. A lot of y'all will be blind. The moment we set foot to this planet, we will lose our fucking sight. We only see 2% of what the eyes can give you. You are missing in many worlds that exist around you. You just have no idea. So many things that your eyes is not catching on because this world is so primitive. I mean, you are deficient of vitamins. You are deficient of vibration. You are literally a ghost in a shell. You heard me? So taking you to an advanced civilization means type 3 civilization, where this civilization, where everything around this planet evolve and everything around this planet become one with the people within, then you cannot adapt to this life force. You will catch a heart attack. That's why they're not doing this. They just hope you are evolving your own course. They are hoping you are connecting, you are awakening, you are catching up, so you raise your vibration. Do you understand? You can even end hunger. That's why I keep telling people, man, nothing gonna come and save us. Nothing coming here to save us because it's oxymoronic. No one can come here and save you from you. All of the problem we created. So why would other species would have come here to put their life on the line for problem that we create or problem that we allowed? We allowed all of this. We allow every madness going on to this world. We allow it. It's because we allowed this to happen. But today they're going to tell you, oh, it's reptilian, it's all cap. We does that. We do this. We allow this to fucking happen. The moment we say no, what is no? Stop complying. Means stop playing the game. Once we stop playing the game, it's over. It's called game over. It's that simple. So again, if we could not cure our own doing, what is we doing? Starvation, hunger. We allowed our people to starve to death when the fucking earth is for free. We can plant, we can do agriculture, we can eradicate hunger on this fucking planet in 3 years. It's only take 3 years to eradicate hunger on the planet. What's stopping us? Us. You heard? Us. 3 little years only, we can eradicate the motherfucking planet of hunger. Now look at shelter. So many homeless, so many people don't even have a roof over their head. We can eradicate this problem in 2 years. Everybody can have a roof over their head in 2 freaking years. What's stopping us? Us. Now the question is simple. What does it take? It takes connection. We are not connected. Now, what is connected? You want to know what is connected? Outrage. We are not outraged enough. I told y'all, if these ancestors really coming, and I have a feeling that's exactly what they're about to do. This is my feeling though. If they're really coming, I think they're about to remove the artificial frequency that is operated here. And now what is this artificial frequency? The reason why we cannot hear each other's thought anymore, the reason why we couldn't feel each other's pain anymore, I think they're going to remove the fucking, whatever we call it, the veil. There's a veil, there's a resonance on this planet. There's a homing. And someone put it there. And I believe the demons are the one that probably helped them create this device. And that device completely remove us from the universal law. The universal law means we were all connected to one frequency. Pretty much mean I can feel each other's pain. Today, we call it compassion. It's not compassion. It's just a sense that was natural to you. They just remove it now. Now you only think about yourself. You don't think about others. Because somewhere along the way, someone created empathy. There you go. These are natural, given and born senses that we all used to have that at one point. Where I can feel my brothers and sisters. It don't matter where. I can feel their pain. That means if I don't go fix the problem, I will not get rid of that problem. You heard? That means if I don't help, then I'ma feel what they're going through. And guess what? I got to do something. This is what we used to do then. So I truly believe something gonna happen. And our ancestors gonna tilt the shift. Something gonna cause for this, because it's a sound though. It's a humming device. They use a sound frequency that severed our connection from one another. I believe they're about to knock the bitch down. They're about to wipe it out or move it. Ice Maker, appreciate the support, brother. Always supporting me. Made the same support come back to you 77 times 7 more with endless opportunity for you and your family and your loved one, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. So again, like I said again, I believe they have a freaking, it's an harmonic sound. It's a humming. And your eyes sometimes be catching it though. You be hearing it sometime out of nowhere. I know this happened to you. Out of nowhere, you just like, you hear something going on to your earbud. It's almost look like your water broke. It's almost like you hear your ear like gloop. It's almost like you hear a water broken, like gloop in your ear, and then you hear this little sound. Very thin sound. You start to fucking hear it. That is the sound that disconnecting our ass, my nigga. This is what they use against us. This is why we cannot, they distort the harmonic field. They distort the harmonic field. That's why we cannot hear each other. That's why we cannot telepathy. That's why we can, they did this shit. I believe this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna knock down this fucking tower. Cause it's somewhere. We don't know where it is. They're gonna knock it down and all the senses gonna come right back in. And this is when the change of humanity about to take place. Cause now we about to feel each other's pain. We about to feel each other's thought. We about to feel each other's feelings. And you watch how fast this fucking world gonna change, because people now about to be willing to put their life on the line, because a lot of them could not even bear this fucking pain. There's people that's gonna go through so much pain, they will eventually jump out a window. When this shit first happened, people gonna go crazy. People gonna go crazy when it first happened. Okay? Some gonna just unalive themselves. Some gonna jump because they could not bear the weight of pain that we cause to this motherfucking planet. Okay? They cannot hold that weight, my nigga. And you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna label this shit as a so-called outbreak. You hear it first. They're gonna label this shit as an outbreak. Okay? You have no idea. And some people are going to tell you, oh, it's the zombie apocalypse. You hear me? Yeah, that shit. Because now you're going to hear voices now. You're going to hear people's thought in people's voice. People are going to lose it, my nigga. People are going to lose it. They're going to think, oh, shit. Yo, I'm being possessed. Something. Because they removed the artificial one. Oh, baby. You have no idea. I'm just saying. Oh, yes, those demons are gonna have to show themselves now. They're gonna be visible now. They're about to be visible now. And they have no power over you, trust me. Somebody say satellite. I don't believe, remember, satellite don't exist. It's just a term. Everything is cable, is underwater. I mean, listen, they sent the little balloon that they send. It's not even satellite. These are, balloon. And what they really do is not satellite purpose. It's mostly broadcasting. They just broadcast it. But the real internet or satellite they trying to talk about is just underwater cables, bro. It's all underwater. People they just don't know that, But anyway, as you're looking at this picture, you notice something. Look at those demons fleeing, right? And look at the position of these demons. They all look the same. That's the same thing you're looking at on this drawing that show itself with the lightning in the Bronx. The same shit, the same wings, same body structure. So again, if you think this shit is a game, these drawings were in the 1200s. So these people were not crazy. They know exactly what they are seeing. So that's the same entities that you saw when the lightning hit in the Bronx and you saw that scumbag were hiding next to the transformer. So they had always been in the air, but you don't know absolutely nothing about it. I'm just saying. Someone that, do I see the movie Supercell? I don't see nothing yet. I don't really see. I mean, I need to go check it. Okay? I need to go check it. I will definitely, let's see some of the stuff we touch. I think we cover most of these things. Okay? Now, everybody know we love Japanese. When you talk about Japanese samurai and the shogun. Sorry. The shoguns and all samurai and all that. What you see, the very top picture, this is where the inspiration of Japanese samurai culture come from. It's a demon entities, as you see it. What you see on the first box, this is a real picture of an entity. This is not a drawing. This is a multi-dimensional picture. And let me blow it for you. You see this? This is a real multi-dimensional picture. So again, these are your demons that exist into other dimensions, and you have no idea, influencing your ass to do many things. And as you see, this is where this inspiration comes from. When you see those so-called shogun or samurai, they put that mask on. That's exactly where that inspiration comes from. So people don't wake up and make things just like that. No, that's exactly what it was. So that entity will communicate with whoever make these masks. So that's what you call, what they call it, channeling. It's called channeling. And everybody know when you dealing with samurai or shogun, this is by far the most brutal and the most strict culture in the motherfucking world. That culture is strict. Okay? Bro, listen, these people, just you happen to not say, you forget to greet the feudal lord. Let's just say the feudal lord passed next to you and you forgot to greet the feudal lord. Did you not know what's coming? Your whole bloodline gonna have to pull their guts in front of them. Your bloodline have to pull out their guts in front of the feudal lord just because you disrespect them. They pull out a short katana and gut themselves one by one because they disrespect a feudal lord. This is what you call blood sacrifice. You really think they're doing this shit for themselves? No, these are the demons that's feeding off from these cultures. These are the demons that influence people to do these atrocities. Because they are what? Parasite. They're feeding off in human life force. You have no idea, don't you? That's why you hear the same culture, you find the Yakuza. Okay? Same thing. You violate, you're going to pay with a body part. You're going to give up your finger. You're going to give up an arm. You're going to give up a kidney. You think these are natural actions? No, that's demonic as shit. It's always blood, my nigga. These are these entities. You have no, yes, give up 5 family members, yeah. Give out newborn. They tell you for the family, every newborn, they're going to have to unalive. That every newborn in this family there is demonic ritual, bro. It's blood sacrifice, my nigga. I'm not making this shit up. It's the truth. It's the truth. You have no idea, man. I appreciate you, Money Gang. Gang, you know what it is. So all your cultures of the world is being controlled, or you have like we call a demonic leaders, or demonic leaders, because the world is upside down. All your cultures of the world, all your religious of the world have one of those entities hiding in between and causing people to do the worst because they absorb life force. Okay? And it's a fact, and we don't have to argue. This is why after the empire fall, it's over. It's over. Okay? It's over. We can never have a beautiful world like this anymore. Yes, each of these gods is nothing but demons hiding to absorb people's life force. Okay? It's nothing more, nothing less. Let's see what I can show y'all. For people that talk about aliens, I told you aliens don't exist. These are the same abomination that's still among us. This is a possum human. This was in New York. This was in the back of a takeout, a Chinese takeout. They recorded. I actually take a screenshot from a video, a still shot. But this is a human possum. You think this shit is a game? You have no idea. Yes. Yakuza. Yakuza. God is the hit of this. The gods are behind this. I'm just saying. The whole word, or Yakuza, they will be the hit. This was in New York. They took that human possum. So on the flip side, your so-called aliens, none of them are alien. All of them are abomination that survived the great flood. And that's them right there. These are your so-called tall white. Their skin is white. Okay, this is your tall white. They're about 12 feet to 14 feet tall. But look at their features. Old genetic splice. You can tell he went from several genetic alterations. Okay, look at the position of his eye, and you can tell this is definitely a lot of splice. That means his original form, he was an animal, but from using a lot of genetic, splice, from a lot of genetic mixtures or genetic engineer, you can tell he start to look more evolving as more humans. Somebody said, it's lagging. Do you guys hear me though? We good? Are we good? We good, right? Okay. Yes. Yeah, that's your tall white. They're not from other planet. And let me say this for a lot of people to need to know. These beings does not come from other planet. They just occupy what we call different continent. Okay? They are in a different continent right here. Not continent outside the borders. Those are prisoners as well. These beings cannot leave. They can't leave this dimension. They're stuck here. But they live in continent in Earth that is no-fly zone. They're not allowing us to go to these regional areas. They are here, but we're not permitted to fly over these little places they live, and we're not permitted to go where they go. And these beings love the cold. So the cold climate, they are the one behind the cold climate. Okay? So the Earth is a natural tropical place. Okay? Earth is natural tropical. So your cold climate engineer, these are the beings that have technology to freeze off the fucking planet. They live on the cold. Okay? So you have no idea, man. No, Antarctica is not what you think it is. Okay? Antarctica, they talking about, this is outside the quarantine zone. Antarctica is not cold either. They lying. This is all speculation. Okay? This is some of the reptoid. This is some of them. Okay? And understand, this is a very, very respectful being. Even though they paint them as evil, these beings are very respectable. And they are not oath breaker though. They are not oath breaker. This is why our ancestors honor these beings, because they do help us survive the great flood in the ancient time. They play a major role of engineer our genetics so we can survive the harsh environment after the great flood. Let me say it again. They engineer our genetics in order to help us survive the harsh environment after the great flood. That's why we have their DNA in us. We got reptilian gene. We have reptilian gene. Do you know that? Yes, they do alter to help us survive. Without that reptilian gene, we would not be able to still here today. We'd be completely wiped out. Because Earth was severely tough. The environment was not catered for us. It was more catered for them because they were built as a genetic alteration. They were a part of the super soldiers. Our ancestors created them as a super soldiers. They were the first splice on the planet. The Garden of Eden, when they told you the snake come to the garden, that was them. They were the first splice. And they were the super soldiers. That's why they always told you they're very militant. Yes. Because they were the first super soldiers. And they are the only group with the most smart, because they have pineal land. The snake is the only animals in the animal kingdom with a pineal gland. This is why they resonate more than any. The most compatible animal in the old animal kingdom, it's not dog, it's snake. Snake is the only true animal compatible to human. This is why all of your ancestors always use the snake on top of their head, meaning compatibility with nature and then the supreme dominance of an animal kingdom, the snake. And they use the snake to revere themselves as ancient history passed down, because they know we will not survive without the reptilian help us genetic-wise. That's why they always got the snake. And that's why we call the Nagas, the Yangas, we still being revered as the snake till today. And that's a fact. The original versions of us, when we were, after they help us survive, we were green. Osiris were green. We are not natural right now. We are rust. The copper is rust. We were green. That was their gene that helped us turn green to survive with the ecosystem. I'm not making this up. Now, while we are in this is the final one before I leave. Let me share with y'all a dream I have. I think this was 4 days ago. Now, let me say this so you understand. Now, folks, if I chose to lie to y'all, may I pay with my life. I'm about to share with y'all a dream. I'm about to share to y'all what I go through. It was not a dream. It was a summoning. I was summoned for a specific thing. Now, let's get to it. Out of nowhere, I was just in a dream, and I was just walking, and as I'm walking, I saw I was like in a cabin, almost like an attic, one of these houses with an attic, and I'm just walking. As I'm walking into a room, and for some reason, a door appeared in front of me. The house were made in woods, so it just looked like them old houses and stuff. But I saw me with my same, sleeping wear. I got my sleeping clothes on. So as I walk, I'm hearing music from distance. But I get it because I be sleeping with music. So I always kind of know what's really going on somehow. Because music do help me maintain my consciousness. When I travel places and when I go places, if something ain't right, I know how to get myself back because I'm hearing something from where I'm from. So the music is just a reference. So if I go to a dream, I'm in trouble, music can help me get back home. So something within my world interfacing with the other world, so I'm not fully lost, so I know how to get back home. So I just give y'all a little secret now. Anyway, it wasn't forbidden, then I give y'all a little secret. So from there, as the music is playing, I open the door, and when I opened the door, I saw myself, I'm in a beach. It looked like a beach, but it's not really a beach. It looked like a jungle. It looked like a jungle, but with water around, but it's nothing but vegetation, trees, and everything. So when I walk, I see a palm tree, a coconut tree, curved. And the coconut is curved and it's right in front of the door that I just opened. So it's no stairs, it's just the coconut tree that just bent, and it looked like this is a staircase, but it's the coconut tree. Weird. So going slow down, I'm slowing myself to just get down. I don't want to fall. And I see an entity. I saw a being, and I saw his back. But for some reason, I thought this is Wyclef. Dream is weird like that. He's not Wyclef, but to me, it's Wyclef, goddammit, because your memory is scrambling between your reality and a different reality. So you identify shit based to what you start to feel, but what you see is not quite that, but somehow you feel like it's that shit. So I'm thinking it's fucking Wyclef, but it's not Wyclef though. But I think it's Wyclef. So I'm looking at him from distance because I still like, but this is not Clef. But I know it's him, but it's not him. So he turned. When he turned, he saw me. So I'm like, yo, Clef, what are you doing here? And when I say that to him, I turned, I saw two creatures running. I mean, listen, they are running full fucking speed. And those two creatures were two reptilian. Those two were, the creature were, both of them were reptilian. And they were running. Like, listen, the way they run, they hunch their back, they run like this. Like their chest is going forward, their leg is running behind them. They move. It's almost like if you ever see Komodo dragon, they look like Komodo dragon running upward. That's how it looked. And it was two of them. And it went straight at me. And when they get closer, I saw it clearly. Their eyes were yellow. Yellow, I mean, it looked like yellow glowing. It looked yellow glowing with the slit on it. It looked yellow with a slit and it glowing yellow. And bro, that shit looked vicious. As, man, listen, I know, look, as soon as this shit getting straight at me, it was like, it was coming straight for me. Yo, I was scared. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I turn, I'm looking at, trying to see if I can get my way back. But remember, the coconut, it was a tree that bent, and I saw the tree take back its shape. So when I looked my exit was no longer there because it was the coconut that take a shape of a stairs for me to get back. But as soon as I get down, it gets right back to its form. So I have nowhere to go. So I'm like, yo, Clef, yo, what the fuck? And yo, I said Clef, and I'm like, you know, natural body reaction. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, yo. I'm just doing that. And as soon as I did that, Clef just like, he said one word. I don't remember the word. He said one word, and that thing just froze. I swear to y'all. He said one word, and that entity froze. As soon as the entity froze, he told them, nah, he cool. I swear to y'all, they behave like drone. They behave like drone. As soon as he said stop, they stopped, and he said, yo, he cool. And then the entity, you saw the emotion in the face. They were like this, to everything just switched to a calm and passable being. Both of them do the same. I swear to y'all, they behave like drone, bro, like machine. And then one of them, he gave me a hand. Like Clef said, yo, he cool. And then he put his hands and he gave me a handshake. But while he gave me the handshake, that shit was painful. I'm like, yo, you fucking breaking my hand. And then Clef said, yo, relax. And he gave me the look like this. He like, and then he just gave me the, I tell you, their eyes is huge. It's glowing yellow with a slit. And you know who it looked like? Yo, I swear to y'all, with my fucking life. Let me show you what that entity looked like. This is exactly what it looked like, folks. I kid you freaking not. Those people that did fucking Dragon Ball Z knew something. I wake up in the dream like, ain't that a bitch? These people knew something for a long time. And this is exactly what Frieza is a freaking reptile. And this is what they were trying to tell us all this time. And we never catch it, bro. I kid you not. The tail is identical. Both of their tail was moving. As we are talking, the tail is moving and things is flying around like leaves. Both, no, it looked exactly like Frieza, bro. The only difference is their skin is green, brown, green, very green, brown. Normal skin you're gonna find in a regular lizard. That's how the skin is. Their faces look like human, but no ear, but they have a dent. Both sides of their ear look like a dent. And it almost looked like this dent, as you see as Frieza ear, but it's not an ear. It looked like ball, like a dent. And it looked exactly same shape, 3 finger, the toes is three huge ones, just like Frieza. The tail, same thing. The height, to me, they look like, because they were hunched down, they look like if they stay straight, they can be a good 6, 7, or 7 foot. But they were really hunched, so they look like, you know, they still look bigger than me by far, but that's how it was, both of them. Now, from that, after Clef told them to chill, and he told them, look, man, give him a handshake. One of them gave me a handshake. I feel like he about to crush my finger. I'm like, yo, relax. And then he gave me the look like this, like, I tell you, they behave like drone, bro. So to me, they probably very hive-like creatures. So they have a upper echelon hive where one of them can control them mentally. To me, that's what it is, because I feel like, I call him Clef. He would control them like that. But again, I call him like that, but somehow it is. So now, when I turn to Clef, his face was 100% reptilian, but he was using a technology. I swear to y'all. His face was 100% reptilian, but something was, he had shimmers. It was a lot of shimmers popping up around his face. Little glimpses of shimmers. And each time I saw the shimmers, they are taking shape of something. Man, listen, cloaking, thank you. Thank you. You said that motherfucking right. It was, I think you nailed it. It was a cloaking fucking device. Okay? And looking, listen, if I'm lying, I'm crashing with my family once again. He comes to me and he said, yo, are you in the system? I'm like, what system? He said, look, I'm gonna make sure this never happened no more. And to be exact, he was not talking. I'm hearing it. I don't see no mouth doing, but I'm hearing it clearly. I'm hearing every conversation in my mind perfectly. He said, I'm gonna make sure this never happens to you. You need to be registered into the ecosystem. Yo, if I'm lying, I crash with my family. He said, I need to be registered to the ecosystem. He's gonna do it right now. I kid you not. The same coconut tree, he touched the coconut tree, a full hologram pops up. A hologram pops up from the coconut tree, and he's moving his hands. He's doing stuff with his hands. I'm seeing things is moving, and the shimmers is happening all over his body. I'm seeing Clef, and I'm not seeing Clef. I'm seeing the reptile, and his face is constantly shifting, but it's not because the shimmer is doing this. And he touched the coconut tree, and the shit come up, and he's doing this, doing that, and then he said, yo, you registered. He grabbed my hands. He make my hands like this. Listen, I feel a little force field like this. He said, you good, you good. They're never gonna attack you no more. You don't have to worry about it. You good now. And from there, I got up in the dream. Yo, if I fucking lie, I'm crashing. So this is what I think. I believe what I was in this dream. This was probably the Congo. This was probably the Congo. The biggest so-called Amazon that no one can ever went and come out. The forest, the Amazon in the Congo. I think that's exactly where it was. I believe that. Because this is why I have this realization. When I wake up in a dream, that's what was crossing my mind. So I don't think I can come up with this shit like that overnight. I don't think I can just say, yo, it's that. I think the moment I wake, because I explained this dream before. This is the second time I explained. I think I explained this dream like 2 weeks ago. I explained it to my account was banned at that time, so I explained it to one of my beautiful sister. She was having a live. I explained it. I believe, because they told you that's like Congo have a huge jungle that every time they sent military personnel in the jungle, none of them ever come back. And they said they cannot fly over it to try to cause fire. I believe this is exactly where these beings are located, bro. I believe they're located in that area, the Amazon. No, not Amazon, the forest in the Congo. The Congo forest that they can't explore. I believe that's exactly where these beings are. So I'm just saying. So to me, somehow they know how to hack nature. So their technology is, I don't know, it looked like they can use tech. They can use nature as tech. It's weird. Where nature is organically a technology where they use themselves. But to me, they are very drone-like being, bro. Very drone. So that was my experience with them. But Frieza is legit. Dragon Ball Z is legit. Okay? You said you mean robot? Yes. They behave very robotic. Like the moment he says stop, they stop. Their emotion feel like it's being controlled. I swear, that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Yes, probably like bees. Yeah, they have colonies where they follow a hive. Well, shit. Hive mind, real talk. Real talk. I don't care what people say. I think it is this. So before I leave, in this manner, because right now we heard about, you know, the what we call it, the 3-eye atlas is coming to November, you know, and everybody know November. This is the month of ancestors, and this is the month of death, spirit, pretty much you know, as a voodoo, as a priest, this is a month that you deal with the dead. Okay, when you mean dead, you talk about energy transition. This is a transit. This is a gate. This is a gate where you will have access to not only people that's no longer there, but you can also have access to those that will be there. So this is Gede time, okay? So with the Gede time, I find it weird because this is the time they said they coming. Well, I understand. I don't trust no system. I don't believe the system is true. I believe they will always throw you a bone and they will say something and see your reaction. Because I told them the moment they said space, I know space don't exist. But if they make us believe that them things is traveling space a certain amount of mile per hour, it gotta be a psyop. It gotta be a psyop because we know anyone will tell you, I mean, if you do the knowledge, you know the fucking space don't exist, it's underwater. But now, this don't negate the fact that it can very well be true. I'm just saying, good or not. But now, this is what I will say about this situation. We seen certain things. Now, why would they want to say it's coming in the time of the dead? Why November? November is the month of the dead. Now, is this something major gonna happen or not? Now, let me tell you my suspicion, okay? And that was me. I was dealing with a ceremony, dealing with some spirit of the dead. And what's in my neck is a family member. They got brutally unalive. So the spirit come in to make sure they don't steal his spirit. Because it was a family member that they unalive for personal gain. You know, pretty much somebody take him out for what he was doing. You know, he was he worked with cargo. He was the general inspector of cargo in Haiti. So without this guy, you cannot ship anything. He was the one in charge of all the shipping. So a high, big ass fucking position. So anyone knows in Haiti is no joke. You cannot occupy any place like this if you don't protect yourself spiritually, because it's coming. So it was I mean, unfortunately, I tell people all the time, knowing is one, but there's two sides of the coin. There's spiritual knowledge and there's physical knowledge. So my family member, he was straight when it comes to spirit. He was good because he come from a powerful line, but street smart. He did not have street smarts. So, you know, he fall for the box. You know, he fall for a woman, but they build this woman for him. It was a setup. So they put a spirit on that woman, and this dude fall in love, and this woman eventually the one taking him out. And it was all for gain. But nevertheless, the goal was to take his spirit. They were trying to get him for good. Take his spirit, and this is eventually what was happening, a major ceremony, and this spirit take over. It's called Baron Criminal. So if someone ever died in an unjustly manner, if somebody got brutally unalive or somebody really as an innocent, this is the spirit that judged. So he's a judge spirit. So this spirit, we're not gonna allow this person to be victim even after the physical got destroyed. So there's two types of victimization. There's a physical victimization and there's a spiritual victimization. A lot of people think death is the end. It's not the end. Matter of fact, it's the beginning. You need to be worried about what's going to happen once you leave this body more than what you're doing right now. Okay? This is what the Egyptians were doing. They call them the Book of the Dead or the Afterlife. This is the afterlife. Michi, what up, gorgeous? What's good, baby? This is the afterlife. So if you don't know, if you don't have a plan for the afterlife, you will become a slave for demons on the afterlife. They're going to keep you on the other side and you're going to be their servant. They're going to keep you on the other side and drain you. Okay? Or some people might take your spirit and turn you as a workstation. For example, there's plenty practitioners. Plenty of Borkors. To be exact, Borkors do that. When you said Borkors, it's more like somebody that just they don't apply rules and regulation. You know, Balkors is more renegade. You know, they more do stuff unethical. When I mean unethical, it's more like they don't have a more merciful thought pattern. For an example, someone that is a Ugin or a Mumbo or a priest or inheritance priest, they will analyze certain things before they do it. They might like, yo, nah, I'm not gonna do this. Because now the person tap on their softer side as a human beings. They'll be like, nah, there's, you know, they're gonna think ahead. They can be like, okay, if I do this, there's cause and effect. There's gonna probably happen from 10 years from now, 20. So there's rules and regulation where some people will think about before doing things. But the Balkor, they believe in one thing. They believe on the situation. Majority of Balkors believe in situation. They believe if you come to them, the time call for it. That mean I must serve. Okay, so if you come to them and say, yo, you gotta take this person out, they don't give a fuck about the people family, if the person were innocent, they don't care. They care about, look, you come my way, this is what I do. My price is this. If you're willing to pay the price, guess what? They're gonna perform. That is the difference. So guess what? In this case, most Balkor, they are using deaf people's spirit. That means somebody died a week ago. They're gonna collect that person's spirit and make that person work for them in the spiritual world. For an example, there's a bunch of them that is actually waiting for certain people to die. Let's just say that you were a person once you were alive, you are very good with language. You can speak 4 or 5 languages, so you good with that. Guess what? That person is plotting and wait for you to die. As soon as you die, they're gonna take your spirit and use it as a worker. That means now they can do work for everyone around the world, because the fact that you know how to speak language, now they're going to take that spirit and send that spirit to different places so they can bring messages for them, or they're going to use the spirit to go do work for other people that speak different language. Okay, you can be right there and you speak Spanish. The dude said, don't worry, I'm gonna come to you. They sent the spirit to you because the spirit speaks Spanish, so the spirit know exactly how to deal with you. Guess what? That spirit never rests. The spirit can never reincarnate it. That spirit is trapped as a worker. These are sick ass practice, my nigga. But again, you don't know. I'm keep on telling you, bro. The game is, there's so much into this fucking world, bro. If you don't know, you are being victimized by this knowledge that they don't want you to know about. So in this particular picture, this was a rescue of a family member. So his spirit is not being taken, is not being abused, is not being manipulated by the very same people that take him out. So that, it was in this bottle. The bottle that you saw in the neck is a bottle that's in there. So the spirit is safe and the spirit is within the family. So he's good. So I'm telling you, bro, shit is not as simple as you think it is. But it appears like that, though. But it's not. So now, what I'm saying is this, because I'm seeing a pattern here. Okay? I'm seeing a pattern. And let me show you the pattern, because there's something that's happened right now in Peru where it's just a wind, a dust. I mean, this shit is completely just covered with dust. And we seen what happens in Brazil also, okay? Remember this happened in Brazil, all right? Where about 100-something people got unalive. So now I begin to question, is these deaths is just coincidence that people start to fight themselves, or is a ritual taking places? Because we are in the dead season, and also an offering that we are witnessing, a mass offering taking place. Because I told you, right now in Sudan, they are doing the same shit in Sudan, unaliving people. And I'm just like, yo, I'm being real. I'm being real, but no, that's how my mind is thinking, you know? Because put it this way, did you ever saw the movie called Meat Train? How many of y'all saw Meat Train with Bradley Cooper? You guys know what I'm talking about? Huh? So none of y'all see Meat Train. I've seen people say yes. Okay. I mean, you should, if you didn't see it, go see it. Now, do you remember what this movie said? Oh, Midnight Train? My bad if I said it wrong. Do you remember what the movie said? I'm just saying. Do you remember what the movie said? Okay, if you remember what it said, can you tell me what it is? Okay, Meat Train. All right, I know I'm not crazy. There you go. They must feed them. They must feed them. If not, they will come to the surface. Now, I'm just saying, all these deaths, all of these so-called going after migrants, ICE. Listen, all these people unalive in Sudan, what if it's what it is? And we hear something is coming. What if it's just, bro, we gonna have to pay up? What if it's whatever the fuck's coming is coming to collect? Listen, I'm not saying it's that though. I'm just saying, what if it's a huge ritual and they are coming to collect, so they are preparing to do something about it? Now, I'm just saying, bro, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. Yes, harvest. What if it's harvest? We saw Jupiter ascending, right? That's what they call it. The harvest. Bro, I'm telling you, man. I'm just telling you, man. This shit is just not adding up, man. So we just gotta always keep an eye on the lookout. I'm just saying. Because, hear me out. There's this guy, right? He said he's a professional remote viewer. That he have a remote viewing. He went inside of the 3-eye atlas and he saw about 5 million reptilians inside of these chambers in stasis. And I have the dream. I saw those reptilians and they registered me to the ecosystem. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not saying what the man said is real, but I'm just saying. The guy said he saw 5 million reptilian in chamber in motion, stasis motion. 5 million heading here. I have the dream. I saw Clef shape-shifting as a reptilian. They were coming after me until he said them to stop, and they registered me into the ecosystem. That it's just my dream. I'm just saying. I don't say it's really that. But goddamn, I mean, shit. We saw the movie Meat Train. It was nothing but a bunch of reptilians underground that they send bodies, people that's unalive, they fill up these trains and send it there so they can feed. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This shit is just now people's being missing. We see what's going on with ICE. No warrant, grabbing people. We don't know who's behind these masks. I'm just saying. Think about it, bro. Think about it. So, yeah, right? I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. But anyway, man, I'm going to catch y'all next time. I think we might see each other tomorrow night. Okay, so I'm going to see you tomorrow night. We'll continue tomorrow. We talk about race. We're going to talk about the genetic structures, how it variations in different nations, and how, you know, we have most of many nations become pale now with straight hair. Why and how? So we're going to talk about that. You feel me? So shout out to all of y'all. Thank you, everyone. And I hope you enjoy this little gathering that we just had here. I hope this stimulates your senses. I hope you learn a little bit. And I hope that, you know, it give you something to think about, you know. It's just gonna, now is, you know, you're gonna be out here, think about some stuff, you dig? So peace, everyone. Appreciate y'all, man. Have a wonderful night. And beware of scammers. People gonna ask you for money. People gonna ask you for stuff. It's not me. Whoever come to your inbox, block them automatically. Don't even entertain the conversation. Don't even try to figure the shit out. Trying to like, oh, maybe it's a no. Block automatically. Whoever reached out to you, block them. It's not me. If you want anything from me, you reach out to me. That means you reach out to me, not me coming for you. That's the only way you know who it is. So I warn you. So if you end up being played, you end up being scammed, it's on you. I'm just saying, it's on you. Okay? So peace, everybody. And also, if you want to support me, go to my Patreon. Oh, also, Patreon members, we're going to have a ritual night next Tuesday. You need to be ready. Okay? This Tuesday coming up. We're going to have a ritual night this Tuesday. So tomorrow, I'm going to tell you what the requirement, what you're going to need to have for the ritual. Okay? We're going to have a fire ritual. So we're just trying to purify our environment, ourselves. So we're going to do a little, you know, fire ritual. So if you were there, I know you already have a rock. If you don't have a rock, then you're going to have to go to the beach tomorrow and go get you a rock by an ocean. Okay? A good one. The rock will call you. So again, you need a rock. But again, you got to be a part of the members. Become a member. So because again, you supporting me is how I make these shows. It's how we grow together spiritually. So we're going to have a fire ritual this Tuesday. And we got to make sure we move forward without certain parasites around us. So it's a very, you know, powerful ritual, but you got to be very careful also. So it's going to need to be very careful to move forward with that. So again, shout out to all of y'all. So if you need to watch the part 1, go watch the part 1. The part 1 is on YouTube. If you want to watch the part 1 of the documentary, part 1 is on YouTube. Part 2, this is the greatest animation ever. It's 42 minutes animation. It's worth $120,000 worth of animation. Top-notch shit. It's how you support me. You go to Patreon, you become a member. Only $11. It's just nothing of support. Powerful work and professional work. I mean, it's my favorite work and I'm proud of this fucking work. So part 2 is out. And for everybody that already seen it and everybody that support, thank you. And I appreciate the support. And also part 3, oh, mind blowing. So thank you, everyone. I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right? Peace. I'm out.